Let's say here. Rotate the... Fuck you, mate.
I'm hoping they play the Sentinel.
Is there going to be doing that again today?
Concert. I don't know if they will, but I'm hoping they'll play the Sentinel.
Alright, it's doing this shit again today. Fuck you then. Okay. Down here, I'm trying to figure this stupid shit out. Oh, I'm so professional. I'm professional as fuck right now.
Yeah.
Alrighty. See, just give it a little moment, see if someone pops in. If not, we'll just go right away. Let's go right into it. But I think we just need to say that YouTube's fucked right now. Can we just say that?
Ooh.
Like, okay, so last night, I don't know if anyone watches TJ Kirk, my good boy TJ.
He's formerly known as the
Amazing Atheist. Yeah. And so straight up, I was watching his stream on TJ Does Life, because that's normally what he does on Ideology. And, oh my god, in the middle of the stream, YouTube shut that shit down.
What the fuck?
Yes. And you want to know why? Hold on, let me just pull it up for you really quick. Let me maybe find it. That's not it. That's not it. That's also not it. This isn't it at all. Where is it? Where is it? It's somewhere. That. This GIF. That GIF. That GIF. Yeah. This GIF right here.
That is retarded. Why? They have several music videos of, like, Nicki Minaj in, like, you know, women in, you know, G-strings that are 10 times as skimpy as that fucking thing. Yeah. And yet...
This is nudity to YouTube. This clothed booty being lightly tapped.
They're not even consistent. Oh my god.
That's nudity.
They're not even consistent with this. I've seen several videos with nudity in them, and they weren't even shut down.
Yeah, I mean...
So it's obviously because somebody doesn't like... They don't like the fact that TJ, you know, has, you know, the ability to critically think. And so that angers most people on YouTube because, you know, they have a social justice warrior agenda.
Or just their own personal narrative that they just want to enforce into everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, to be honest.
It is.
Yeah, and so during the... Yeah, and this was being played for behind the chat. There was two of them just above each other. And it was just the chat, you know, just bullshit and whatever. And then all of a sudden, it just says, this video was unavailable while still streaming for like a good minute. And then it just shut off like entirely. It's like, this is now literally gone, bitch. And it's like, I instantly knew it was YouTube. I went, oh, fuck you, YouTube. I know this was you. Yeah.
Susan Wojcicki, if you can hear me, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, Susan Wojcicki. You are a bitch, dude.
You are a fucking cunt. You have no creative bone in your fucking body. Then again, that's not too hard to believe since you're menopausal. Yes, you're menopausal.
How old is she?
My tongue. I don't know. She looks like she's menopausal, so I just thought I could say that.
I have no idea. She is like 9,000 years old. That looked like she dyed her hair.
She looks like she's in her 50s at least.
Okay, 5,000 years old. I might have overestimated, but
she's a quintogenarian.
Yeah. So, and just the other day, he fucking Deep Fat Friday gets flagged for hate speech. Here, let me just pull it up really quick.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Alright, so before we fucking even get into
this is part of the Patreon special, but this part is public.
Bum, 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 bum.
We're just gonna skip halfway because that
would be kosher, so that it would be acceptable for Jews to eat. Dude, so we were celebrating that there's gonna be Jewish pork in the future. Cheering the Jewish people on. We're like, look, these rabbis are now fucking allowed. We might have Jewish pork. I mean, think about
yeah.
This.
So they're basically you remember this. They literally talk about a rabbi on Jewish pork, and here's the story.
Paul, you can finally eat pork again, dude. I know you're. Well, look, TJ's a prominent. TJ, can we address something?
I'm gonna grind this up really quick.
Paul said he doesn't eat, he doesn't dine on swine.
I'm Shomer Shabbos.
But you know what?
It's Shomer Shabbos.
Paul's actually Jewish. We want to announce it now. Paul's actually. I mean, look at the curls. I mean, Paul's Jewish.
Shomer Shabbos.
Jew Paul. But now that they finally
Jew Paul.
feel. said lab-grown pork will be kosher for consumption by Jews, even when eaten with dairy products. I don't know what the connection with dairy products is.
Me neither.
Rabbi,
anyone who's Jewish, can you explain the connection between milk and dairy and pork?
Meat is not subject to the rules that apply.
I mean, I kind of get why they don't eat pork. It's like,
it's all good.
What I'm sure anything that's a scavenger. Same thing with shellfish, shrimp. They don't want to eat pork because it's a scavenger. Same thing with shellfish, shrimp. Just anything that's like a bottom feeder, or just like eats anything that gets there, that they get their hands on. Like rats would also. But
you can't really make. I mean, nowadays, unless you just are finding some wild ass pig for no reason to eat, that argument just doesn't work.
Well, no,
I mean,
because it's primitive.
It's a very primitive thing. Yeah, I mean, I can get if you just don't like the taste of pork or just don't like it, like how I don't like cheese that much.
The main reason why they didn't allow eating pork is mainly because like
grinding this legal tobacco for all those who are not
the main reason is because like you couldn't freeze it or refrigerate it and still keep
it. I mean, the best you could do was just salt that shit up and call it good. Like you had to salt it and hope it didn't go bad. That was basically the best you got, was just salting things.
Back then for eating
you had to get a little bit of them salted taters and that shit. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty fucked. I just kind of wanted to start with that. You just had a little cringe moment of just YouTube. YouTube, can you get your shit together? Like, I'm trying to start this thing going, and then you're doing this shit. Do you realize how I don't even want to be a part of your platform when this is happening? Like, why do you think I took a hiatus for so long? Because the apocalypse, and it's like, what the fuck am I gonna do? I can't, start with this shit. But I'm coming back.
And even
hopefully
if,
I could.
Even if VidMe shut down, there's still gonna be another site. I mean,
VidMe did. I think VidMe did shut down, and then there's Vimeo, Steemit, DTube. I mean, there's
several other like video streaming sites that people could actually choose that'll actually give them the freedom that they desire. Because right now you're infringing on creative freedom. And if they don't have that, they're just going to leave. And just like MySpace, you fuckers are going to go out of business.
MySpace, damn. Yeah, I mean...
So consumers in some aspects still have the power.
Oh, I mean...
And all of your money's going to go down the drain. So you better invest in something, or else you guys are going to be fucking eating cabbage water until you die.
Who's they? Are you talking to our audience? I get what you mean, though.
Not the audience, but like, the people running the fucking business. If they see this, they're going to hear what I'm saying.
Well, they most likely,
they're going to watch it.
Their algorithm's going to see it, and because their algorithm is triggered, they're going to probably ban this.
Algorithms and SJW, blue-haired faggot.
Oh my god, we're demonetized. Oh no, we're not even monetized.
Who believes that they're this fantasy dragonkin, a transgender, and a fucking non-binary at the same time, which is impossible to be. But they try to rationalize a reason as to how to be all those things at the same time.
Yeah, it's
retarded.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it's not even just that. It's just that they want to be so right, and they want to, feel like they have all like this control, not only just for themselves but for others, and they're like, it's just this very authoritarian-esque just nature, and just the way YouTube is just like they're trying to appeal to everybody, so they're controlling all what we
not appealing to
which is like the whole horseshoe thing. It's like in an attempt to make it look like they're diverse and they're open for everybody or family friendly.
Is not diversity.
Yeah, exactly. They're forcing their idea of entertainment. They're forcing their ideas of what's good and what's, not bad or whatever. I mean, and even this whole hate speech thing with the Deep Fat Fried episode, because now they can't even stream anymore. So, like, what that was is, it was either the title, which said, like, kosher pork or something like that, and they had a pig that had a Star David on it, which I can somewhat see, but it's like, who gives a fuck?
Remember that one movie, what was it? It was on YouTube, and I found it, and I thought it was the weirdest thing. Kung Fu and Titties. Or no, it was in that list of the...
Yeah, no, we watched it, yeah. I also want to...
breasts. Uncensored breasts, and it even has like a part where somebody's dick is accidentally seen.
Seriously, there was?
You don't remember that?
I don't remember that part.
You don't fucking remember
I don't remember that part, but I remember all the titties.
Together.
I know, but I don't remember someone's dick accidentally falling out.
That is on YouTube, and it hasn't been taken down. See, like, everybody here running this YouTube algorithm, you're fucking hypocrites.
I don't even think anyone's running it. I think somebody like a week ago probably set some shit up and left it there, and then it's just running amok.
The fucking algorithm doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't, really.
It doesn't. You should just stop using the algorithm. Because I get it, you want to organize the videos. But I think part of organizing, and actually cataloging shit shouldn't mean fucking censoring people's voices and silencing them.
Just look at the YouTube shooter. I know that I just went totally dark there, but look at that crazy. What was her name? Like Nashim or whatever. She was a freak.
Oh fuck.
She was a freak. I'm going to admit she is creepy, and I know she's kind of a bad analogy, but look for her motive as to why she went to YouTube to do the shooting. It was because of their policies, and it was because they're fucking the small content creator.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not endorsing her at all. Not at all. I mean, I think me calling her a freak and shit already.
What she did, but part of me says that I can't blame her because she was like.
Yeah, I mean, imagine how many other, imagine how many people are like that on YouTube still.
Thanks a lot, YouTube. You've actually caused threats to the public by pissing people off so much. And I'm blaming this on you.
And not only
so
onto the public.
Shot, it's on you, bitch.
Honestly, yeah.
That sounds so mean, but I mean, come on.
I mean, but
just appease them. Appease them.
But yeah, just like the whole. I mean, and also it's not just public safety; it's their own safety. They literally risk their own lives over these policies now. Yeah. So I mean,
so you need to stop.
YouTube's got to change. YouTube's got to change. Yeah.
It needs to, or else it's gonna go out of business, just like MySpace.
Yeah, basically.
MySpace is pretty much, it's just been consumed by the void. Just gonna
practically. Yeah. So this next,
or at least it's still probably just a site on life support.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what it is. Google's just dragging YouTube along while they struggle to deal with their bullshit. But so this next story is kind of interesting. I mean, it's not the main story itself isn't like what I'm like really looking at, but it's kind of mainly the commentary afterwards. So this is an excerpt from TYT from their main show. I don't know exactly what day. Yeah. But they have Ben, Mark, and Anna Kasparian. So Ben Mankiewicz, Mark Thompson, and Kasparian Anna. So I don't know why I said her name backwards. But I'm not going to like show any real the clip, but I'll over listen to it. I'll actually put speed up to a little bit so we can kind of skim through it. It's only an 8-minute thing, and it's only a few parts where I kind of have some disagreements. And it's mainly with Ben. Like, I like Anna. I mean, I thought her commentary about it was pretty good, but Ben's was just like, oh my god, dude. But
Bank of Murica has stated that it would like to do its part to help mitigate the mass shootings that we're experiencing throughout the country. And so they've come up with an idea that I actually don't agree with, and I'm curious to see what you guys think about it. Let me give you the details. Bank of America will stop lending money to gun manufacturers that make military-inspired firearms for civilian use, such as the AR-15 style rifles that have been used in multiple mass shootings. A spokesperson for BofA was quoted as saying, "We want to contribute in any way we can to reduce these mass shootings." Citigroup also has played a role in taking some sort of political action to prevent mass shootings. It was actually the first big bank to issue a new firearms policy requiring clients in the gun industry to stop selling to customers who have not passed a background check or are younger than 21.
So, just based on this 1 minute of the video, I mean, the first half of it I don't necessarily agree with either, but...
No, because it's not their fault that some people are abusing
I mean, if they had, yeah, I mean, there's a little bit more to the story right now, but,
No, the background checks thing, I can totally understand.
Yeah, like, this part right here, I actually don't mind at all. Like, this part right here is fine.
Some people might hate me, but, like, the way I see it, I don't think gun shows should really be allowed if, it's too inconvenient for them to do background checks.
Yeah, like,
most of them are, like,
the gun show, the thing is, I don't mind gun shows if, like, there's a process to get...
to get a background check.
Well, yeah, like you have because there's videos of people buying guns off of people at a gun show, and it's like, you got the money? Yeah. Well, here you go. Don't say anything. Yeah. It's just like, there you go. Have fun.
Literally anybody. Hitler's grandfather.
Either, and they'll ask. Some people can ask. Some sellers will say, "Do you have a background check or whatever?" And you can either just say yes or no, and depending on that, they'll just give you a gun.
Yeah.
And that's the issue, though. I mean, that's one of the main issues. But
I mean, so you should either like by default shut down the gun shows, but have them require that you need some kind of certified
or like have
card that shows that you had a background check
either
trading too.
Yeah, like the FBI or whichever agency is primarily used for like looking into this type of stuff, which I think is the FBI. Have like a couple of their dudes there and to make sure things go smoothly, properly, and regulated.
Take away influence from the NRA because.
Get money out of politics. That's simple. Yeah. I mean, that's a whole big that goes into that's true, but that's
an easy thing. But
that's the whole big
that's the main obstacle.
Is the money in the politics, and we need to get it out. And until then, we're gonna have special interests, lobbyists, CEOs of corporations buying our politicians, like the NRA, Walmart.
It's already kind of maddening, just to deal with a fucking bureaucracy, but fucking money in politics.
Yeah, like a bureaucracy I can at least understand.
Yeah.
Money in politics I can't. And it honestly just mind boggles me how we, like the nation, not just us, but other countries have just fallen into this trap of just money, It's scary how well and how good money can really control people.
And also ruin people, too.
That, too, yeah.
And entire countries.
Yeah, I mean, and even a whole continent, to an extent. If you, look at, like, 1929, look how the whole continent of America, basically it's the U.S. and Canada, and they got fucked in the 20s and the 30s. And Europe, even after then, was totally fucked. I mean, and then, Asia was actually starting to kind of get a little boost, because, Japan and then China, but then they then they got a war going on there, but that's a totally sidetracking for what we're talking about.
Tangential.
Yeah, but, overall, it's... The first part of it, I don't necessarily agree or disagree. Let me go back to it just to read it up on one more time. We'll stop lending money to gun manufacturers that make military inspired. I don't necessarily agree or disagree with that. It's my main thing is that if you're gonna do it, you just do it a clean slate with everybody, or instead of just specific like the military-inspired firearms for civilian use, such as the AR-15 style rifles that have been used in multiple mass shootings, just either do a clean slate or not at all. From what it says here at least, it sounds like they're just kind of picking at certain gun manufacturers, like, oh, we're gonna stop giving money to Smith & Wesson, but Heckler and Koch, oh, you're okay. It's like...
Yeah, that's too, don't be selective about it. Either
absolutely. That's my main...
Or give a better reason as to why you shouldn't do it.
Yeah. So, let's continue here.
Let's talk about the strategy that Bank of America is using. While I like that strategy when it comes to this particular issue, I'm uncomfortable with banks making decisions on loans based on politics.
And I 100% agree with that. So this is where my agreement with Anna comes in, because
politically motivated.
The thing is, it shouldn't be, and it should just be principled. We're doing this on principle because this is what the people are concerned about, and we want to make sure that we're helping being a representative for the people as well as amongst ourselves, and etc.
Still politically motivated though, to an extent.
Yeah, I mean that's the little rebuttal about that claim is that everything
we need private companies to just stop being involved in politics.
Yeah, and also when we're talking about also that everything is political to an extent. So to say that you can't not be political is, you can't just not do that.
Just don't let private companies have control over it.
And that's just a problem of just how it is now. This is just part of a symptom of how our nation's basically an oligarchy with the whole situation. Yeah.
So this is why I don't really agree with the bank actually doing this.
Yeah,
lending money to
I don't even really necessarily agree with them, doing the whole money loaning thing in the first place. But that's what banks do. So, I mean, I'm more of a credit union guy. I prefer credit unions to an extent. I'm going to move this just slightly over. I'm always in the edge. But,
You got like a little bit of a lens flare there.
That's just my light. It always does that. I just have to, like,
probably
just
like
be
some
very careful.
Conspiracy theorist when it comes to
It's the globalists. It's the globalist light. Reptilian UFO overlords.
It's a fucking anomaly. The Nibiru is coming. Some bullshit.
Actually, hold up. Did you see the clip with Alex Jones having a fucking tantrum? I shared it to you, but I don't think you saw it. Here, let me.
I didn't have access to the internet at that time, so I couldn't see it.
What was it called? Syria. Trump. That works. That works.
So he reacts.
Oh, Alex Jones, emergency breaking news. I'm not going to look at that. That's not what I'm looking for.
Explodes over president.
High impact flicks.
So he actually says it. He actually says fuck Trump.
Yeah. I'm not going to... I used to be subscribed to high impact flicks, and I don't know why I was. But then I looked at his channel like a week later, or like a week ago, and it was about the Parkland shooting, and oh my fuck, he was basically... I'm not even going to really get into it. He just basically was like... Oh, it's a false flag, you know, this is a communist news network, blah, 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 you know, just some stupid
fucking shit. Dude.
I was actually like, why is my channel being, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Why is my channel being stained on by this? Where I'm subscribed to this dude saying that, okay, here's a bunch of, okay, here's one. Here's one. This is him.
Like, you know, if you just turn against Trump, things will be better. But he was doing good, and that what makes it so bad.
Oh my god.
He's crying!
Oh, and that's what makes it so bad.
He's crying, dude!
Shit.
Crap from the beginning would be so bad.
Oh my god.
We made so many sacrifices. Now he's crapping all over us. It makes me sick.
Man, dude, you fucked up, man. You
fucked up, dude.
You shouldn't have voted for him to begin with. We were warning you, and you didn't listen. And now, look what happened. Now we're risking fucking either World War III or Cold War II. That's the best case fucking scenario.
Oh my god.
So thanks a lot, Trump. Fuck you.
Oh. It's not the exact clip I'm looking for, but God, is that just great?
Should we reinstate the guillotine? Because I feel like with people like Trump, we kind of need it. We really do now.
I need to find this where he actually just goes on a gigantic tirade. Okay, which one's just the original clip? Is this it? Yeah, here it is. Okay, this is it. All right. Alright, I'm gonna show you guys really quick. This is insane. He actually will just go on a loud, belligerent banter.
They got it. They rumbled Trump, and he didn't stand up at the moment of truth. Donald Trump shit his fucking pants at the fucking moment of truth and shit all over everybody.
Yeah, it's called the election night. He did it then.
That's my first approximation. I'm not an
You're a little like 2 years late, by the way.
Yeah.
fucking cult for Donald Trump. Fuck him. Fuck his family. Fuck all these people. All right, see, I shouldn't even be live right now. When are we going on the
I shouldn't be allowed right now. He's like, he even admits he shouldn't be on air.
satellite? God fucking damn it.
Shit,
What
they did.
the fuck? Is there nobody fucking pure in this goddamn fucking world? See, now
What's he doing pushing the chair?
Al-Qaeda, sucker. Knows full fucking well that Al-Qaeda and ISIS staged all those fucking chemical attacks. And now
Okay, I actually do kind of agree with that. I feel like if there's anyone who did the chemical attacks, it was either ISIS, Al-Qaeda, or some other jihadist Islamic group.
I know that Saudi Arabia and Yemen did a lot of chemical attacks.
Well, Saudi Arabia
he's
did it
popping
in
up.
Yemen. In Yemen. Yemen is under a genocide, being blockaded. There's no power
yeah.
in them. Like, the Houthis in Yemen are lucky that they're even fucking in Yemen, still trying to defend whatever's in Yemen.
They're
But
lucky to be even
not that I
alive.
agree, not that I'm like supporting the Houthi rebels, but I support the people in Yemen who are having to suffer for all that bullshit.
Oh, yeah, the civilians, the people that
Yeah.
didn't want to be
Anyway.
to begin with.
goddamn mother.
Trump's propping them up.
I shouldn't be on there right now. When the fuck are we going live? I can't do this shit anymore. Fuck Trump and fuck these fucking people.
There we go.
Man, I'm sick of all you fucking liberals who do this shit anymore. Fuck Trump and fuck these fucking people.
Fuck Trump
Who
and fuck
takes
these.
this?
I don't know. Do you hear the people in the background? They're like, okay, like, hold on,
like
I'm gonna.
they're like
That's all I
scared.
really am gonna show for that. Yeah, they're like,
He's not gonna take it.
yeah, he's like, hold on, oh my god, but he's like,
I'm pissed.
And then-
I'm trying
and
to
then-
bottle it.
yeah, and then she's like, we're about to go live, we're about to go live. She sounds so timid. I don't even know who the lady is.
Oh yeah.
Look, man, I'm sick of all you fucking liberals and mainlanders. You're a bunch of cowardly fucks. You're not Americans. What's going on? Okay. Should we shut these feeds down and delete those? And I'm gonna try to control myself.
Oh
Should
shit.
just shut those
Too
feeds
late.
down.
Too late. Yeah.
Where's that Def Leppard song? Too late.
Too late.
We're alive.
Oh my god. I just had to show that really quick. That's what happened with Alex Jones lately. It's just been fucking comedy
Well,
gold.
I mean, like the fact that all these conservatives just like for a brief moment just started to wake up and go, see, Trump's not the best president for your interests.
You know, it's surprising. Yeah, you know, I'm actually kind of glad that a lot of the conservatives on the right, and maybe not just conservatives, just but other similar leaning, right-leaning
It shows
people.
that everybody now hates him. Everybody fucking hates him, except for the
his loyalists.
inbred loyalists.
Yeah, I mean,
I think I know a Trump loyalist, and if I might even, if I get into an argument with him, I might even get into a physical fight.
oh god, don't get
I'm
into
just so pissed.
Well, don't get in that situation. We don't need no, like, defend yourself if he gets in an altercation with you, but don't instigate
Well,
it.
then, like, if he's not really able to debate very well, I'm thinking he's probably going to try and hit me first, but...
Well, yeah.
Fuck, I'm so pissed. I'd love to beat up a loyalist. Just say, like, you guys put us in a fucking, second Cold War.
Honestly, Hillary would have
Turn around so I can punch
The
you
thing
in the
is,
nose.
Hillary would have done the same thing.
That's true, though.
And quicker.
She probably,
and in fact, we
Probably
might
a
actually
hot
be...
war.
Yeah, we actually might even be in a fucking World War III right now. So,
Yeah.
Are we even doing better with Hillary or Trump? Are we? Are we really? I don't know if, I really don't think, we're doing any better with Trump than we would have with Hillary. I think it would have been somewhat similar timeline, maybe, obviously no investigation, maybe a different investigation would be happening. Like, who the fuck knows? But all I know is with this whole Syria bullshit, it would be playing the same way. It would be playing either worse, where Hillary's like, no fly zones. We're going to, make sure we stop Assad. Oh, stronger together, break down the barriers.
Break down the barriers.
Yeah, like, no, yeah, like...
Except for the one in
you want to...
which has now been rebuilt. Sorry, Reagan.
Goddamn. Oh my god.
Sorry, Mr. Gorbachev. We gotta build up the wall.
Sorry, Germany. We gotta rebuild the wall.
Fix this motherfucker.
All right, Angela Merkel, go on to the east side where you belong.
Oh, God.
She was from East Germany. She was born and raised there. That's why I made the joke. I mean, yeah. I didn't know that about Angela Merkel until I did research on the East Germany, but then I started noticing some like shit about Angela Merkel kept popping. I'm like, what the fuck is this about? So I just looked her up, and I found out she was born in a town that was in East Germany, and she did go in like the youth group, like the youth organization, the state youth program or whatever. That
when was she born?
She's old, so I mean, definitely in the Cold War. I'm not. I don't know. I mean, she looks like Hillary but fatter. I'm sorry, Angela Merkel. I'm so sorry, but it's just so true.
Oh,
God, I'm so sorry, but it's just.
I can't really
true.
trust anybody who looks like Hillary.
I mean,
it's these fucking jowls. She looks like a Nazi. Like. Have you ever played the Wolfenstein game New Order?
Yeah.
Frau Engel looks just like fucking Hillary Clinton. She looks just like her.
It wouldn't surprise me if they used her face to do that. In Black Ops 3 or whatever the fuck, they used Kevin Spacey, so I mean, they would probably use her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
As a reference for the villain, you mean?
I mean, we went so far off on this whole Big America thing, I'm just gonna fuck that off. Because, we got a lot of other different things about marijuana!
Yep.
So...
Weed.
Yeah, and I'm actually about to take some, but...
what is that? Let's show that poster for a moment. Irate state of mind, man.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they probably have seen it multiple.
I don't
couple
smoke
times.
weed anymore like he does, but you know, I fully support the legalization of marijuana. If you decriminalize it, you know, like for one,
At least just as
prohibition.
decriminalization.
Because we didn't learn from the prohibition of alcohol, obviously, you know, which gave the mafia ridiculous amounts of power. It's just retarded that they just want to, you know, continue to criminalize it.
Yeah, basically.
You know, create all these black markets, all these cartels, give them power. Not only that, but like, you know, we have so many lucrative medical opportunities that can help science and medicine as we know it and to help it progress.
Yeah, I mean, I also have a bunch of other... what the fuck?
And one of the main reasons as to why it's not legal yet is only because the big pharmaceutical companies, you know, are going to lose business. They know they're going to lose business because their products are shit.
Also, the private prisons.
Yeah, private prisons. They'll
the
make tons
police
of money
unions.
off of arresting innocent people who just happen to have marijuana in their hands.
The DEA, even.
Yeah, the DEA especially. Like
yeah, like what the hell is the DEA going to do if the drug war isn't a thing? What are they all going to do?
And die, and they're going to be out.
It's gonna, yeah. Eventually, it's not going to be a bunch of, you know, militarized looking.
You'll have to have a real job.
Like, you know, talking about if, you know, certain drugs from like the pharmaceutical companies are actually deadly or not. And there's this one.
Well, a lot of them are. Like the fucking opioid crisis, you know,
fentanyl,
that's
oxycodone,
goddamn pharmaceutical company.
Yeah, I mean, oxycodone is a popular one that doctors prescribe.
One of those drugs killed Prince.
Yeah, fentanyl, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's because he was underprescribed something, and he just literally couldn't fucking.
I don't know what company, you know, produces fentanyl, but.
Oh, did I lose an article? Oh, I think I lost one. Oh man. Oh. That sucks. Yeah, it was actually kind of an interesting article, but whatever. Well, fuck you then. I got a lot of different other ones here, and it's mostly on Oregon.
We say that phrase so many times.
Huh.
We're just gonna keep saying it, you know. We're not apologetic though.
Oh
so,
well.
Fuck you if you don't like me saying that.
What are we saying fairly?
Fuck you.
Oh yeah, we have been saying that a lot. Yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna play this thing because there is a Republican, two of them actually, that have surprised me. And it's not Tucker Carlson or Tomi Lahren on Syria. It is John Boner. And I don't know who the other one is. I forgot his name.
Like, people might think we're mispronouncing his name, but like, come on. Look at
his
first vowel in his name.
Look at his name.
It's Boner, people. Come on. It's Boner. Okay?
It's Boner? I had to make. I have to be juvenile.
I already made that joke. I mean, I did this and you didn't see.
I had to add a little extra fling, you know, when you. Well, fuck. All right. I'm just playing this. Oh well, does this not want to play now? Oh well, shit.
Oh damn.
YouTube's trying to stop me. What the fuck? This is what I mean by my computer is shit. This will happen. And this is the first time this happened midstream.
It's freezing a little bit.
Midstream.
Just gotta give it time, I guess.
Yeah, mid-time.
What should we do in the meantime?
I'm gonna just... fuck. Well, I can't really take this now while I'm dealing with this bullshit. I don't really want to have to look for all of these articles again, because this was so... Oh. Okay, that went... Alright, minimize that.
Oh shit, it's going black.
Okay, you know what, I'm just gonna let... You know what, I am just gonna take this, and I'm just gonna let this just chill for a bit, because... I have like a couple of
like we did in our early channels where you just like take fat bong rips and almost die.
Well, I mean, I wasn't gonna stop doing that just because I'm doing this. I mean, doing streams and commentary and shit. Yeah, it came back up. It just was
somewhat.
It pooped out, but it's taking its time. But here we go. Come on.
Okay, it's coming.
It's coming.
Oh god.
Come on, Anna.
Just like Anna with her pucker lips. Just.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, just press play. Come. Oh.
John Boehner,
hey.
representative who was very aggressive in his
Oh, hold on. God damn it.
So this is really surprising that John Boehner is doing this. I mean, look at the spelling of it on his name.
It's Boehner.
Come on, dude. It's the first vowel in the name. Boner, okay? It's safe to call him Boner, okay? It's Boner.
I mean, if it was A, it would be like reasonable to say Boehner.
Aggressive in his anti-pot rhetoric, is now tweeting about how the federal government needs to legalize marijuana and take it off the Schedule 1 category. Now, why would he do this? Why this sudden change of heart? Turns out that he is part of the advisory board for...
Part of the advisory board. I think... Is he like for a marijuana company or marijuana manufacturer? Is it medical or is it like recreational?
It's known as Acreage Holdings, and I'll give you more information about them in just a second.
Oh my god.
Okay, that I have recollected myself. Oh fuck. Well, so yeah, he's part of this advisory board for medical marijuana specifically.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And
I would have been more surprised if it was recreational.
Here's what she said.
Do this? Why this sudden change of heart? Turns out that he is part of the advisory board for a cannabis company. It's known as Acreage Holdings, and I'll give you more
Acreage Holdings is the name of the cannabis company. Acreage Holdings.
Well,
information about them in just a second. But
yeah,
first,
I just want to repeat it so they heard it.
He said, "I'm joining the board of Acreage Holdings because my thinking on cannabis has evolved."
So I'm just gonna skip this little part, but he said in his tweet, "I'm joining the board of Acreage Holdings because I'm thinking." Because my thinking on cannabis has evolved, I'm convinced descheduling the drug is needed so we can do research. Okay. And help our veterans. Yes. Okay. And reverse opioid epidemic ravaging our communities.
This is unfucking believable. Republicans are starting to have common sense. Common fucking sense. This is awesome.
This is why marijuana will be legal federally after
thing.
2020. After 2020.
I mean, the second Cold War, at best case scenario, with Russia's not a good thing. Fucking Trump is an idiot. I hope that we can reverse that somehow with another president.
No help with
Russia doesn't.
No help with the Democrats or the mainstream media with that either.
Oh no! Like you'd think they'd be all over Trump's ass with that, but no, they're not.
Iraq 2.0.
Russia.
Stormy Daniels, Syria. We gotta go to war.
They're involved in electing Trump. They're colluding with them.
It's like this is always the fucking the proof was actually completely debunking, their theory about that long ago. Several other reasons. The fact that he actually had a Syrian bombing before then was already disproof.
And also,
he's not fucking colluding with Russia.
And also, he had sanctions on Russia. I mean, he didn't do sanctions for the investigation itself, but he did sanctions on the Crimea incident. So, he's not a fucking puppet for Russia at all.
He's a puppet for the American establishment, which, oh yeah, that's right. CNN, ABC News,
Goldman
Fox
Sachs,
News, Goldman Sachs, the Koch brothers. That's what they are, the fucking Koch brothers.
The Walton family, or
Wall Street,
the CEO
of
Walmart.
The Rockefellers, the Bushes, the Bilderbergs. They're all part of the establishment. They're all part of the oligarchy. And Trump is a puppet to them.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, like, if you can make an argument for who's the puppet for, it's the establishment. And,
totally.
And, like, 90% of our politicians are puppets to the establishment,
and,
so...
when people say, he has anti-establishment sentiments, that's because he's a fucking hypocrite. He's a liar.
And also, that was just his campaign strategy, was to run as a populist. I mean...
the whole wall was a selling point anyway.
Even thinking on like this whole thing about him being pumped for the establishment makes me think like maybe not so, because he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He's got John Bolton as the Secretary of State now. Like he makes George Bush look like Noam Chomsky to steal from Kyle Kalinske.
Oh, God.
But I mean,
fuck.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, if you really want to, like...
And the fucked up thing about, like, even if Trump gets impeached, that's not entirely a good thing, because, yeah, he's out of office, but we have fucking Mike Pence. It'd be better if we had an open homosexual, but Mike Pence is a sexually repressed, closet homosexual.
Look at his
Putting that kind of power in his hands.
Look at his hair. Like, I mean, that perfect fucking weird...
Yeah, dude, he's gay, okay? He is craving for man-ass. I don't care if he's married.
He's craving that Trump Cheeto dick.
Yeah, oh, God. And not even Mike Pence. I mean, Mike Pence must be desperate for some gay sex, but not even with Trump.
Okay, yeah, it's I don't.
The guy's fucking gay, okay? The
Yeah,
only
like,
reason why he hasn't gotten out of the closet now is because he was raised in a conservative upbringing where homosexuality is wrong.
Well, I mean, even young conservatives are saying homosexuality is okay. I mean, because they're just like, oh,
Yeah.
it's totally, whatever. I mean, look, it's just that the whole idea is just dying out.
But the older ones, though.
Yeah.
My dad's still a homophobe.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like, you can easily point people out who are homophobes, even for young people, too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we used to be friends with somebody who was like that, but...
You said that he wasn't, but it's obviously, it's obvious with his behavior that he was.
Yeah, I mean, if someone's just screaming out about random shit like, oh, we gotta deal with the gays, well, I mean... maybe it's because you're gay, bro.
They're a fucking.
Maybe it's because you want some of that dick.
The issue is that you need to be honest to yourself and say, oh, okay, I'm gay. I guess I better go get fucked in the ass by a guy then and not be ashamed.
I mean, even if you're like actually straight and you just don't. There's just not a thing about homosexuality or whatever, and you just generally find it disgusting. Then still, the fuck what? You let people. It's a libertarian issue where you do you, boo. That's what Anna likes to say.
They're doing it in the privacy of their own home, so who gives a shit anyway?
Yeah, like if there's people being fucking freaking weird, like
if people want to smoke marijuana in the privacy and comfort of their own home, let them do that. And I thought it would be a good segue to get right back into this.
Right? Yeah, for real. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Let's see what because I want to know who the other Republican was.
This drug is needed so we can do research,
this is so
help our veterans, and reverse.
It really was. I was surprised too.
Our communities.
Oh, you just realized.
Just realized
there
it.
are
By the
pros
way,
and cons to
previously
everything.
he referred to legalizing marijuana as something that he is unalterably opposed to.
Unalterably. I'm familiar with the English language. I think I know what unalterably means. It appears it just got altered.
No. But they have the power to draft legislation, vote in favor of the legislation, oppose legislation.
There's more money in the marijuana business.
It's not like the information about it being used as a painkiller or a treatment for...
okay, here we go. I'm going to skip to the part where the other Republican is mentioned.
Apparent and very obvious is that he's looking out for his profit motives. He's looking out for doing what's necessary to make...
So, I mean,
obviously, yeah.
Yeah, so the real...
There's money involved.
So, to be honest, the real main reason why John Boehner or Boner, yeah, whatever you want to call him. Like, the real main reason is money, and he wants to, just trying to find the best ways to make a profit, and he's realizing that marijuana is profitable because he's looking at Colorado, Washington, Oregon, now California, all these other states that have legalized it, and he's like, oh, well, there's actually a profit. Maybe I should, grab that.
I've been trying to talk about this, for so long.
Marijuana
is incredibly profitable.
I need to, really, spread this.
Greedy people want to be involved in the marijuana.
Yeah, I honestly need to start sharing this with my family in Texas because a couple of them are starting to open up with medical marijuana, and I know one of my cousins in Texas is okay with weed because him and I talked about it, and he's not, he wouldn't do it himself or whatever, but he's chill with it. But, I know some of my folks are starting to open up to at least medical marijuana research, like Boehner has said, or Boner, or whatever. But a lot of them still are very against it, and maybe, sharing the shit about what Republicans are even doing will probably help them turn a little bit, because... I mean, the ball rolling for this whole marijuana being legalized and stuff, it's already rolling. It's
gonna be a domino
it's already halfway down the hill. It's
an avalanche at this point.
Yeah, this shit's already halfway done. Halfway down the mountain. It's, once it hits the bottom, it's gonna be a big fat crash and all that.
Hopefully that can also damage the drug war, and the DEA is just gonna lose a ton of fucking work.
Oh, it will. I mean... Yeah, because then the drug war's then going to be specifically on cocaine, meth, and all the high, narcotic shit. But then, at that point, the argument for at least decriminalizing that stuff is going to start popping up. I mean, Oregon, there's already talks, at least, because we saw a poll on mushrooms, which is a hallucinogenic fungi, And while the poll itself was, it's asked, should just magic mushrooms, should that be legalized? And it was a very vague question, and honestly, I think it was poorly written. And it was, 57% no to, 42% yes. And while it's kind of upsetting to see the no, I was actually surprised about how contingent that poll was. And just considering how many people probably were voting, you couldn't see how many people were. You just saw how much a percentage was. But considering how even mushrooms now, where a lot of people are still very against it, are like that much contention, that's also a good thing.
How the fuck is it gonna harm you any more than LSD? You know, if I were to be like, if I had a gun to my head and somebody forced me to pick either between a tablet of LSD or mushrooms, I'd rather take the mushrooms because at least they grow on the ground.
Yeah.
And if they're the psychedelic mushrooms, okay, yeah, I'm gonna have a trip, but at least it's not LSD, which will actually legitimately damage my brain if I take it.
Yeah, like, there's studies of LSD right now where,
it could lead to mind control. That's what MK Ultra was about.
Yeah, well, that wasn't where I was going to go to, I saw a study, I think even Kyle, on Secular Talk reported on it, where they're saying people who do take LSD, where they take, like, microdoses, report, but, like, they're more productive at work, they're more focused, they're able to, like, if they're, like, artists or whatever, their creativity feels more, that's just microdosing on, like, a moderate level of just, like, you're taking it almost, like, medically. At that point, you're taking it more like a medical substance, in a way, and I might be able to find it really quick, actually, because it's a really interesting thing. Here, let me look it up. But yeah, and like hallucinogenics, right now are definitely getting more, not popular, but more open for debate. Is from what I've noticed. So let me look up this.
Like half of the drugs that actually no, none of the drugs that we talk about, I don't even take. But I still support the legalization mainly because I just don't want criminals making money.
Oh, here we go. It was from a year ago.
I feel like if people just want to have,
Medical
a free
daily
market on this kind of shit, they should be allowed to. Well, maybe not totally free, just to make sure they can still, not be allowed to, put their waste, and dump it in a river, hurting the environment.
Okay. Yeah, here's
restrictions. So they can still make a private market off.
So there's two things. One from a year ago. And one from a month ago. And from a year ago, it says scientists link LSD to increased creativity. And that's a video by Kyle from August 23rd, 2016. And this is what I was talking about.
Kelly has a fascinating article here about the potential upsides of LSD. They say a study published in the journal Language, Cognition, and Neuroscience investigating how LSD can affect speech and language. 10 participants were asked to identify a sequence of pictures under the effect of LSD and a placebo 1 week apart. Results showed that while LSD does not affect reaction times, people under LSD made more mistakes that were similar in meaning to the pictures they saw. This means that when people saw a picture of a car when under the influence of LSD, they would incorrectly identify it as a bus or a train, suggesting that the drug may affect the mind's semantic networks. LSD triggered a strong activation of these networks, bringing to the mind more words that come under the same family of meaning. The effects of LSD on language can result in a cascade of associations that allow quicker access to faraway concepts stored in the mind, inducing a hyper-associative state may have implications for the enhancement of creativity.
So basically the rundown is that, so the scientists were doing, a test on people who took LSD. So they, will show a picture of a car, and then, they'll ask them to, either draw it or, remember something about it. Mm-hmm. And, while they might incorrectly get it, it would be far more related to what they were trying to get right, compared to before. So there's, which is saying that there's links to that type of part of the brain. I forgot what he said, limbic system, I think, and which yeah, I think so. Here, let me go back really quick.
Semantic networks.
Semantic networks. Okay, so yeah, so I don't know if there's an article. Yeah, Medical Daily. So here, let me just go to the article itself really quick. So, LSD triggers strong activation of the mind's semantic networks. Study finds. Yeah. So, oh my god. We don't need to see that. Okay. So, LSD can blur the line between self and environment, which is similar to what occurs to some psychiatric diseases. The study published in the journal Language, Cognition, and Neuroscience investigated how LSD can affect speech and language. 10 participants were asked to identify a sequence of pictures under the effect of LSD and a placebo, 1 week apart. Results show while LSD does not affect reaction times, people under LSD made more mistakes that were similar in meaning to the pictures they saw. So they showed them pictures, and then they would tell them to remember them. And while there were like mistakes and stuff, or more mistakes, they were at least in similar meaning to what they were seeing. So yeah, for example, if they saw a car, they might say a truck or a bus or something like that. Yeah. Or if they saw a tree,
still similar.
Yeah, if they saw a tree, they might say a flower or a vine or something like that.
They're in the ballpark at least.
At least, yeah. I mean, but you know, but that's.
But they're still like they're half in reality.
But the thing is, yeah. But the thing is that it kind of shows that their creativity parts of the semantic system of their brain has been increased.
I mean, like maybe if you showed one of them like you know, a trash can, they might say the Millennium Falcon.
I don't know if it'll get that close, but
that'd be
yeah,
funny as fuck though.
Yeah. But it's actually a really short article. It's on the Medical Daily. To find it, the best way is just look up Kyle Kalinski's video, Scientists Linked to LSD to Increase Creativity. Just look up Psychedelic Talk LSD. It should be like the first result, because it was for me. And the second part of it is LSD shows promise in treating severe psychological problems. And
whoa.
Yeah, and which, you know, while... Yeah, the LSD was part of the CIA experience with MK Ultra. LSD now is definitely far different, and I think there's promise to it a lot. And wow, there's even a fat comic talking about someone who's alcoholic, but
Trump could do a huge fucking crystal of acid. It's one of them comments up there.
Trump could do a fucking yeah. I wish maybe that would make him get woke.
May have found out why psychedelic drugs are helpful to people with severe psychological issues.
People like
so
Trump,
we're going to take a look at a clip from Now This in a second. For everybody listening live, I'm going to read for you what it says, because I think it's just writing on the screen.
Okay, so this is a video, so I am going to just say what I was doing to tell you what's on the screen. So LSD might be able to treat PTSD and chronic depression. Researchers at Pompeo Fabra University, went too fast for me, discovered that psychedelic drugs can cause the brain to develop different patterns of activity and create a process of harmonizing across the brain's broken networks. Poor mental health can also result in broken connections in important brain networks and lead to sensory confusion and disordered thinking. But scientists believe psychedelic drugs can be used to create new networks and help people overcome trauma. Researchers test the concept on 12 volunteers who received a moderate dose of LSD, and others received a placebo. The LSD-induced neural harmonies faded a few hours after the session, but scientists said there were some changes that suggested networks could become more permanent. Researchers said more studies have to be done before medication could be developed using this treatment. And that was the video.
So, that's interesting. I think if you speak to people who have done those psychedelic drugs...
placebo is just the control for, like, you know, what happens in the sobriety, I guess.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, overall, that definitely... Yeah, I mean, so, myself, when I first, like, started smoking weed, I was actually against, like, hallucinogenics and stuff. But after a while, I've kind of opened up to doing, like, maybe LSD or acid or mushrooms at some point.
That is a bit ironic because, like, weed, to some extent, like, with enough THC can actually cause a hallucinogenic effect, like what happened to me.
Yeah, like, one time, I don't know if we told the story yet. I think we'll have to do that sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe not tonight, but some other time. But maybe just a stream where we're just doing stories and shit of our, like, marijuana moments. But, yeah, because there's a lot of stories, man. But anyway, dude, yeah, with, yeah, like, what were we fucking saying? Yeah, with, but yeah, like, with LSD, mushrooms, and, acid, I found out right after I said it, so it's okay. I collected myself, bitch. But yeah. Dude, I used to say that a lot, too, but,
you still do.
That's true, and I hope I try to, I almost...
a lot too.
Dude, I used to say like so much. It's not even funny. Like in school, like never. We're going on tangent. We're collecting ourselves. Okay, so So anyway, yeah, like with mushrooms and acid and like LSD, I'm like and DMT even, maybe ayahuasca, stuff like that. Like
that is the same thing as DMT.
Well, yeah, like but ayahuasca is actually like the plant combination. So, what are you doing?
I'm counting every time you say like.
What the fuck? You're really not gonna let that up, are you? But like.
Okay, that's just gonna affect it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's gonna bias it.
Exactly. Oh, hey. Oh shit, Carl Rove has joined up. Paying attention to. I am, boy. I just did. I pop in every now and then to see what's going on. Yeah, but.
We're back to the LSD.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess
are you still here? Oh, it looks like it left.
It fixes, I guess, like psychological problems by, like, I guess, reconnecting the neural pathways.
Yeah, but yeah, like that's why I'm more open to it because I'm hearing so many stories, so much research coming into it, and it's still here.
Small doses, though.
Yeah,
you don't want like a big ass dose and go, whoa, dude, elephants everywhere.
Well, that's why I said it was a classic, but yeah, like I mean. Yeah, like right now we're talking about LSD and how it's just honestly sounding awesome. But yeah, I mean, because LSD, because we just went into like some of the research of how it could increase creativity, treat some psychological problems, but there needs to just be some more research into it. And I'm just like, fuck yeah, that's awesome. So. I'm gonna go into more back onto the weed, the devil's letters. That didn't work. Oh damn! They probably like bought like store mushrooms or something and called them like magic mushrooms. Like here, I like dried them up. They're good. But $80 too. Oh, that's bad. Damn, dude. Shit, you got murked off that. Fuck. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, like, we're kind of lucky, like, the Tillamook Forest, during the fall, we, magic mushrooms, if you have, like, a botanologist, you can actually, pick out which mushrooms are actually, like, good to eat, and you can actually get mushrooms in the Tillamook Forest, which is, like, an 80-minute drive or something like that. And now that that's going on, I'm actually going to pull up just to stream on the computer. So
it's an hour, 20 minutes, and
something like that. Yeah, I'm gonna pull. Yeah, I'm gonna pull the stream up on my phone on the computer here, so at least I could just look at the chat a lot better.
Oh man, that's weird.
There we go.
It's like we're seeing ourselves on both screens.
Well, nah, I'm keeping myself down because I've only been to Portland once. How expensive and hard is it? Oh my god, it's insane. The housing is pretty bad here. I mean, there's spots where you can find that are pretty decently priced, but it's hard. Like, if you're trying to like find just an apartment or whatever, it can go up to like $1,000, $1,200 a month, $1,500.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Do you live in the city? I live in a little town just right outside of Portland, but it's like at most like a 30-minute commute into the downtown, so I'm not far off from
that's
town
just
at
like
all.
Taking public transit.
Yeah, that's just with
a car.
Yeah, like if I was to drive, it'd take like 10 minutes, but yeah, I mean, like for my little downtown area, it's like a 5-minute walk, but to get to downtown Portland, it's like a 30-minute commute. But I'm gonna go into this another little news slip right here with again Kyle here.
My boy Kyle.
Yep, our boy. Don't ever disrespect my boy. But yeah, this is the politician that is referencing a satire article while arguing against marijuana, and it's ridiculous. So the lesbian tattoo was fake, fucking cringeworthy.
A Louisiana politician argued against medical marijuana, and in the process of doing that, she made a comical error.
In January 2014, the Colorado publication, The Current, they reported 37 died from overdose on the first day that the marijuana was legalized. 37 died.
So this is it says Louisiana Representative Dodie Horton cited a news story claiming 37 people died the first day marijuana was legal in Colorado. To help her argue against a bill that would expand Louisiana's medical cannabis program, I'm going to mute this really quick. or at least keep it really down.
The article.
The problem is,
it's from a satirical news site
called the Daily Current to Onion quality. This is like some Onion quality shit.
Statements in here, and this.
I just had to.
Committee, and I guess it depends on what side you're on and who you believe. But I do know people have died from it. I do know that it's categorized as a gateway drug. That's fact.
Oh my God.
What? You've known people who've died from the weed? Yeah, it's probably because they had something else like, I don't know, heroin, meth, maybe alcohol poisoning, maybe I don't know.
Opium.
Yeah, like, you should, yeah, I'll have to check them out sometime. But yeah, I mean, holy fuck.
You know how many deaths have been caused by marijuana? Fucking 0.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll go into the whole kratom thing in a bit here too, because I have a little bit to say about that.
Yeah.
Because that's a monitored substance right now, and that at the
and actually, you could buy it in the
stores.
McLaughlin. You know, there's stores that sell it.
They're not just there, anywhere. Like if you there's like little random markets that that just sell it, and the only reason why I'm like not doing it right now is just because I want someone like I know who takes it with me to just ensure that I'm all right, stuff like that.
Like
take kratom every day. It's like my coffee. Well, damn.
Well, I mean, damn.
Yeah, I mean, how is it? Like, cause
Kyle Kalinske also uses.
Yeah, like I know. Yeah, like I know Kyle. Like I know a lot of people who, or at least know stories of people who take it totally fine. So.
In fact, it helps them, increase their performance.
Yeah, like I know I'm sure I'll be fine, but it's a warm but energetic opiate rush, essentially. Yeah, because what it does is kratom affects the same neurons and things in. But it works in the same like neurons and pathways as actual opium would. So.
Right.
That's how it. That's why people who actually have like meth or heroin addictions and shit like that will take kratom to help them alleviate these withdrawals and stuff.
So but I guess it's pretty much like the pros of opium without the cons.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, like he's saying, it depends on what strain you take and how much. And that's the thing is, I just don't know exactly which strain would probably be best. Because I know like the little stores have just random strains, but I don't know nothing about it, so it's just mainly just like, I just need to like check up on the research, and get Green Valley. Yeah, like I mean, I don't know too much what that strain does, but I'll have to look it up because like one thing I'll probably use it for is maybe it's like what Kyle would be for. It's for focus because I know when I'm at school, sometimes I'll just wander off or. If I want to just chat, and if I just want to chat with someone, I want to be able to focus on the person I'm talking with too, because I have like a thing where I'll just drift off and start fading for someone's conversation. But it's not like bad or nothing, but it's just like something about just social
you get
thing.
Distracted.
Yeah, anyone does, but I just happen to be a little more than others could. Yeah. But I'm actually gonna. That's the most popular strain, classic uplifting energetic opiate buzz. All right. If I eventually do, that's probably the one I'll probably look at. Like I said, I'll definitely be doing more research before I do, for sure. And most of my feels a little nauseous. Yeah, that's like the main thing I hear. Like the worst thing is people feel just a little sick, and the worst case scenario is like you puke it out. Because the most common way is like intake of just eating it.
That happened to me once when it got too high.
Well, yeah, like, I mean, shit, I've puked when smoking weed before. And I mean, it's just, just because it was just too hard.
Harley did one time.
Shake it up with orange juice. I do have, actually, orange juice, and I love OJ. So, if I do, that might be the way. That might be the way.
Some OJ Simpson. No. That's terrible.
Reporter, what'd she say?
To let her know.
Yeah, you read it while I do this, here. I'll,
The reporter, Elizabeth Crispincy, to let her know that she made a mistake. See, background on the
I'll pass on a tweet.
Let's see.
Dodie Horton.
Dodie Horton, okay. Because it's like, without the spaces, it's really hard for me to read it. Cited as evidence that marijuana killed 37 people on the first day of legislation in Colorado, and then a link. La gov. God.
That's Louisiana legislation, Louisiana government.
She's basically what you get, I guess, so far, if you combine a spinster and a thought. She's just a bimbo altogether. She's just dumb.
Yeah. Like what? Yeah, I mean, Elizabeth Chris says this is her tweet at her, and that link is to the article she's listening. Spoiler, it's satire, not true. Minor uptype Steve Crowder fans. Oh, damn, that sucks.
So wait,
I mean,
Crowder is against marijuana. Well, like, okay.
Yeah, he is.
Steven Crowder, other than like the social justice stuff, is pretty much fucking retarded.
Yeah, you should have seen him on Joe Rogan because he was so defensive on marijuana to the point where even Joe Rogan had to like say an apology, even though he wasn't really doing anything wrong. But yeah, I mean,
it's not a hill worth dying on.
I mean,
not gonna win.
Yeah, I mean, don't worry. I mean, I live in a conservative household as well, but at least everyone at least kind of agrees with the marijuana thing.
Everybody does marijuana in his house.
Yeah, I mean, not
to some extent the cats do. And they get stoned and they eat a shit ton of cat food.
That's true. Yeah, basically. I mean, and funny thing is, none of our cats are really fat besides one.
Yeah.
But Horton pushed back with another questionable argument and blocked Crisp. I was given this info from a so-called trusted source, but now I know that story was not credible. What is the fact is the number of car wrecks as a result of marijuana in Colorado was up by 48%, with several ending in deaths. Needed the experts FDA to prove usage first. Bullshit, because at least my parents are okay with it. Yeah, like mine are too. Like my mom smokes it medically, my dad smokes it recreationally a little bit, but anyway, yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, you could legislate laws to ban any kind of thing such as drunk driving or high driving or texting while driving, and then those deaths would be gone, at least.
Well, at least...
Or not gone, but just, like, reduced and also discouraged.
And, I mean, but also, I mean, that, you know, and also, just to, you know, go from organ statistics, the amount of driving accidents has actually decreased from 11 to 14%, and also opium overdoses have decreased around the same percentage rates, because now that we have legalized marijuana and the amount of time we have. So, which is, what, 2014, I think? Yeah, 2014.
So, like, the thing is, like, I know that there are people out there that, like, can drive functionally, even, like, you know, influenced by a substance.
Yeah, if anything, like, for me, I would first drive sober, of course, just to make sure I can at least drive, and...
That's why I'm able to I was able to play guitar high a couple of days.
Yeah, like, I mean, in a lot of ways, I function better while I have marijuana and stuff.
I mean, heck, I have the drummer in my band, he was actually a little bit buzzed.
Kratom goes amazingly well with weed. Kratom,
he's a better fucking driver.
Kratom takes the anxious, paranoid edge off
weed. Then Logan is sober.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Kratom goes amazingly well with weed. Kratom takes the anxious, paranoid edge off weed, and weed takes the nausea away from the kratom. Yeah, like, I mean... Yeah, that's why I am starting to open up towards it, and I know there's places to get it, so I have been considering getting it. It's just that my money is very tight, so I'm just sticking with weed right now. But yeah, like, I mean, that's probably what I do, maybe, because I know just Pimp Monk from the Drunken Peasants, he would just take like a spoonful, 2 spoonfuls a day, and that would be good for him.
So you can also ingest it too.
Yeah, you can ingest it. Oh, that's what it is. It's a plant that you ingest. So you can either just eat it raw, or you can mix it in a drink. You can make a tea out of it. You know, like, that's what I love about these fucking plants, man. They're like damn miracles in a way, you know? Like, and you know, the thing is, it's just like, yeah, I mean, forgivens have been smoking marijuana for 10,000 fucking years. So that's, like, forgiven. You know, that's given. I mean... Like, even, you know, I'm gonna just steal some shit from the Bible real quick, even though I'm an agnostic atheist. What do you think Moses was doing when he was talking to a burning bush? What the fuck did he think he was doing?
It was growing in Asia Minor.
Yeah, it was like Persia, Afghanistan, Pakistan.
All the Aryan areas. It was growing there. That's indica mostly.
Yeah.
India, probably in some regions.
Even when I do go without it for a few weeks, I don't feel any withdrawal. Yeah, like, I mean, that's the thing about it. Like, plants, like, there's some plants that could be addictive, like tobacco, because there's nicotine in that plant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but there's, like, other plants like kratom and marijuana that
they're not addictive.
Yeah, I mean, emotionally for sure, because
it's like, it's like playing video games.
Yeah, like
candy.
Yeah, like I took a tolerance break during the whole month of January, the start of this year. And I'm not gonna lie, I was like, damn, I wish I had some weed right now.
Yeah, it's like that's the craving, really.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, you're not feeling any pain from the withdrawal. So it's like, some people are just, marijuana is addictive. Like, there's this so-called doctor on YouTube, like, citing various things about it being addictive, but it was bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that's, and one of the arguments that one of my family made in Texas was that it was addictive. I'm like, no, it's most likely laced they got
disproof.
Yeah, I'm also like I obviously couldn't bring weed in Texas, so I was sober for like 2 or 3 weeks while I was down there.
You weren't suffering withdrawal.
Actually, if anything, the only time I ever thought about marijuana while I was there was the day I was supposed to go back, but I missed my flight. That was the only time I ever thought about weed, because I thought, I'm going to have a nice fat bowl when I get home. I'm going to get high as fuck. And then I missed my flight, and I'm like, damn, I could have been having a nice fat bowl right now. That was the only time. Was the day I thought I was going to go back.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Joe Rogan talked about a theory that the bush that Moses saw burning in the desert was an acacia bush, which naturally produces some level of DMT. Yeah, and, that could also be what it could have been, I mean, it really could have, yeah, I mean, the whole thing, like, with
I can see that.
I think it's Exodus where Moses is in. Deep Fat Fried went in a whole thing about it, so.
I think Deuteronomy as well. I think he was in that, too.
I haven't read that whole fucking thing, but I have, like, 50 Bibles in this damn house, because my mom is a Christian, so... Like, I can just, if I really want to read it, I can just find one and just read it here.
Where he gets the Hebrew slaves out of Egypt, and then Deuteronomy is pretty much just, like, rephrasing all the laws that have already been phrased in all the other books.
Yeah.
So why the fuck do you need to have another book dedicated to that? Just why?
Thousands of varieties and species of plants around the world produce DMT, though most are very low levels. Yeah, I mean, that's, I don't actually really know that too much. That's interesting. I wonder which ones do, because if so, then I wonder if I can just collect as much of those plants as possible.
A fucking like a hallucination, you just go like, dude.
I was raised Muslim, and there's ridiculous shit in the Quran too. Oh, yeah, I mean, every religious text has some ridiculous shit. Like, the Hindus have, like, this 7-armed god.
There's so many armed
gods.
Yeah,
the flying donkey in the Quran.
There's a deity that was cursed with, like,
sperm comes
vaginas.
from, the Quran says the sperm comes from, like, the backbone of your spine, talking feet and hands. Yeah, there's a lot of weird
where's the correlation?
I guess because it's in your lower part of your body. I have no idea. I don't know.
That's fucking retarded. I'm sorry. Oh my god.
There's some seagrasses that grow in the marshes here in South Carolina that produce DMT. Oh shit, that's cool.
Muhammad's ascension to heaven on a flying
donkey or something like that. Yeah. There's a lot. Yeah, every religious text has some crazy shit. But it's just about it. There's a little more to this. Here, I'm just gonna mute it because I think it's just text after this. But the rest of this thing says an April 2017 report from the Journal of Public Health.
Directly refutes
Horton's claim. 3 years after recreational marijuana legalization, changes in motor vehicle crash fatality rates in Washington, Colorado. Come on. Were not statistically different from those similar states without recreational marijuana legalization. And that's about it from there. And honestly, Kyle just kind of roasts her, basically. Yeah. When I was a little, the imam told us that if we masturbated, then our hand would be pregnant in the afterlife. I was just like, oh well.
But my hands have kids, though. That's nice. Do I raise them?
Okay, I actually am like, I really don't know. I don't know what to say about that. I really don't know what to say, dude.
Do I have to support? Because I'll raise the hand kids. If my hand gets pregnant, I'll raise them. I will. I'll raise them.
How does your...
I'll be a hand
How
kid.
does your fucking hand get pregnant in the afterlife from...
Fucking absurd. You just had a loss for words. I'll do it. I'll be a hand dad.
In the Quran, it's in the Quran and Sahih al-Bukhari. Oh, Sahih al-Bukhari. That guy, I don't know what's worse. The fact that I don't know what's worse, him or the that weird dude with that weird trucker hat that says that you're homosexual if you masturbate. I don't know what's worse. Like that's pretty bad. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh. What the fuck? That's just bad. Oh my lord. Alright, I think I have one more thing here.
Your hand will get pregnant.
Yeah, alright, I'm gonna pull up some of the articles now about about some of Oregon stuff, because I'm gonna pull them up over here so the chat doesn't get a little hidden away.
So welcome to hell. Oh,
I guarantee you that Dirk jerks it at least once in a while. I think he jerks it before he like goes into the mosque just to be. I don't know. That guy sounds like he has a compulsory masturbatory problem. Oh he's gonna have like 72 hand babies instead of 72 virgins when he's done.
They're still technically virgins. Creamy pedal smile.
Oh, what's this? Uh-oh. Oh no. It will not let me see it like we were earlier? Okay. Well, what the hell? Well, there was,
Oh, that's fucking bullshit.
Okay, well, there was some statistics on the forecast of marijuana values in Oregon from 2016 to 2025, but it's now pulling some bullshit where I need a premium account to see it, but even though I was literally just seeing this just the other day, or yeah, not the other day, just now before the stream.
I hope you believe this, but like the graph has only been rising. Like there's no fluctuation. It's just rising.
Yeah, like so the rundown of it is it's like it goes from like 6 billion and then it stagnates, but then it like jumps to 8 billion to 9 billion and then it just kind of stagnates to 9.5, just slowly increasing. My family was Bosnian, so I was the only white kid in the mosque. Yeah, I know the Bosnians are, like, aren't they, like, one of the few, like, European countries that have, like, a white Muslim, majority, I think? I mean, I don't think it's majority there, but I think it's probably, like, the second biggest religion. But I'm not too sure. They're Slavs that are Muslim. Yeah, because I know, yeah, like, one of my favorite things is geography, so I like to read up on, like, a bunch of different other, countries and stuff, and, like, about what it's all about. And, yeah, and, I know that, especially near, yeah, here, like, Bosnia was part of Yugoslavia, Orthodox Christianity, Catholicism were common there, too. Yeah, like, I mean, yeah, because I know the Slavs are mostly Orthodox Christians, and especially near Bosnia and like the Yugoslav area, and like Serbia and stuff. Oh, where's my mouse? There's definitely like more of a larger minority of Muslims compared to like other places, which is pretty cool though. I mean, it really does kind of show a lot about the place's culture and history, which is what I love. Croats are Catholic and Serbs are Orthodox. Yeah, like, I don't know too much about the Slavics areas, but, oh, here we go. Well, I found a whole list of all the articles I was pulling it from, so at least I can find them again. But, so let me look at, so this is, from, Oregon's, OHSU, which is actually, in Portland, and it's about a doctor who's drafted cannabis, primer, for other doctors, and what it says is, what the rundown of it is basically, it's, like a, it's like a, manual for, it's like a little pamphlet, essentially, to give other doctors, understanding and a rundown of cannabis so they can have better understanding with their patients who smoke cannabis, because
and also help them with prescribing.
Yeah, so like here's what it says. You've heard that the Merck Manual of Diagnosis and Therapy? Well, no, but it just assumes you did. Now comes a short guide for psychiatrists and other doctors to navigate the world of cannabis to help them treat their patients. Don't know what BHO is? Vaping? Impossible that in 2018 you never heard of a bowl? Okay, that really? I think everyone's heard of a bowl. This new primer for doctors, developed by 2 local doctors, will explain. It's pretty basic stuff, but what Dr. Jeremy Peters says he was after. A resident in psychiatry in Oregon Health and Science University Hospital, OHSU, Peters figures that up to 80% of the patients he sees consume cannabis regularly or have in the recent past. To some doctors, the world of marijuana, in terms to use to describe the many ways people consume it, can be mystifying as medical jargon to someone who tries to understand the treatment plan. Eager to get a better handle on the topic, Peters and a colleague, Dr. Joseph Chine, reviewed the types of cannabis available today and came up with a quick rundown for physicians. It explains, for instance, that hash has been largely replaced by butane hash oil, and how marijuana-infused edibles include foods like honey sticks. Here's a QA with that. It's essentially just kind of give it a rundown of it. Bosniaks are Muslim, but comparatively moderate in relation to the rest of the Muslim world. Yeah, like I mean, for the most part, Muslims in general, like, a good portion of them are moderates. Like, I know in Indonesia, there's a good sect of moderates there. I know in India, like, the minority sect actually is persecuted there by the Hindus, and American Muslims for the most part are very, very moderate. I mean, I think there's even a video that even my mom saw where there was a bunch of just Muslim Americans being interviewed, just some basic questions, and one of them's if he ate bacon, and a couple of them said yes, and a few others said they've thought about it and stuff like that. But anyway, how did this paper come out? We worked at Portland VA on the inpatient psych ward, and something I noticed, a lot of our patients use cannabis, and something we're finding used to blah blah blah. It seemed that we sort of knew more about them than we did, so we started our own research. To learn a little more and have more of an informed discussion with our patients, it became clear to us that a lot of other providers didn't know much about this stuff as well, and we decided to write an article to help explain everyone's knowledge. So, yeah, the rundown is just giving them more of that understanding of how, what was this? Unfortunately, polling data shows that many think holding shall be illegal, etc. American Muslims are the most progressive in the world. That is true, too. I mean, which I think is also just because of how diverse America is in general. I mean, especially how open it is towards a lot of these issues. Like, a lot of these conservative issues of, like, homosexuality is bad and all this stuff is honestly dying out for sure. And it's, at this point, it's just honestly only a matter of time before they just kind of start getting shunned out. It's like
you're doing it with the dude every time you're jerking. Don't you know that, boy? You're fucking another boy.
Half of the time,
have hand babies.
He's only half right for me at least, but still, he could fuck right off. I mean, unfortunately, bad ideas in Islamism are more common throughout the world amongst Muslim populations, as we progressives want to admit. That is true. I mean, and part of that is Saudi Arabia's push with Wahhabism around the world too, because we fund their programs to increase and build mosques and stuff, especially in Europe, which is generally Wahhabist in nature and very extremist. So it doesn't surprise me that these far fringes of Islamism, especially in like the Shia world with the Ayatollah, and also in Pakistan as well. I mean, these other different places, it's definitely still a problem for sure. But I think once the more of the progressive world eventually really opens up and starts pushing to get these countries on a more more up to modern society, then there'll be some changes. And I don't think it's gonna take a while for sure, and there's probably gonna be a lot of backlash with it from these minority sects. But yeah, it's I feel like it's getting there at some point, but just the grassroots has just got to fight up and fight back, and I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm optimistic on it. According to a 2014 poll, 52% of British Muslims think homosexuality should be illegal. And yeah, I think that goes back to the point what I was saying about Saudi Arabia, because the UK, the US, we fund them, and in return, you know, we get their oil, and you know, we help with their petrodollar. They also spread their ideology around, and they fund Al Qaeda. They probably have funded ISIS, so I don't know if that's true, but
I mean, they have like the same basic ideology.
yeah. And according to polling, there's over 1 million confirmed atheists living in the closet in Saudi Arabia, and I do believe that. I actually really do believe that. There's even this one very fringe black metal band that I found called Al Namrud, and they don't say their names at all. They're completely secret in identity, but
Their
they're
translated band name is The Non-Believer.
yeah, they are atheist metal fans, and they're in Saudi Arabia, and they're like said to be in this one little town that's like near Bahrain. I think it's like the town with the bridge that goes over to it, but that's like the only confirmation of like where they are in Saudi Arabia. But I don't know who they are specifically, but they went for like one member lineup change, and it's just a vocalist.
Being a metalhead myself, like if I was caught in any like in Iran, Saudi Arabia, I'd be fucking killed on sight.
Practically. I mean, we both would. Yeah. Dierna is doing to Islam what the printing press did to Christianity, the atheists in the Muslim world that are on the internet. The illegal Arabic copy of the God Delusion has been downloaded nearly 1 million times in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, I think I heard about that somewhere. I don't exactly remember where, but I do remember hearing about that. I think I was looking up something about Richard Dawkins. Probably saw a comment down below talking about that, which was probably something on a related topic to that, which I think was the God Delusion. Because I actually have that book. Where is it? Let me pull it up. Here, I'm just gonna throw that book out.
Sure, it isn't like.
Yeah, it's not in my library, or else I would have seen it here. I think I just have it chilling over here. Where the fuck that book? It's not important. It's not really that important, but. But
it's there.
It's here. I do have it. I do have it. Let's look at it over here. Yeah, I don't have it over here. Yeah, it's not over here. But yeah, I got all sorts of books. I got Glenn Greenwald's No Place to Hide, Lee Camp's what was that book called by Lee Camp? Here we go. A Moment of Clarity by Lee Camp. I got this at the live show with Tim Black. That was awesome. I love that. What was up? Nearly 1 million times. I think it's because it's so rigid. It's easier to make an atheist out of a Muslim than a Christian, because once they see one little crack in the facade, the whole wall collapses. That is true. I think because one thing I noticed with Christianity is they're very easy to just get themselves culturally accepted, which, I mean, that's even been seen like all the time throughout history. I mean, look how freaking Christmas came about, how Easter came about. Oh, there's an ant on me. I mean, yeah, those are pagan cultures, or at least derived from those type of cultures. And there's also now with like just, I mean, I don't even know where I'm trying to go with this, but I mean, a lot of it is also they will make like different types of facades or something towards how they represent it. Like sometimes they'll kind of bring like, oh well, you don't really like will go to hell or nothing like that. God's all love and accepting. Like they're able to really get their kind of peace and love message out there, and also they're able to use like a lot of humanitarian aid to their advantage too. Like they'll go out to like Africa and actually help them build wells or something like that, or help them, with the medical problems there. Do a Google Hangout sometime. Yeah, at some point, yeah, like once I start growing a little more people start showing up on streams and stuff like that, I do want to, get more going on. And once I get this whole computer bullshit fixed up and situated, I want to, get a podcast going eventually. My first stream, I think, goes into that. But, yeah, so that was just, anyway, yeah, but this whole thing with the OHSU thing is really cool. Overall, it's just basically a rundown of how doctors can better understand cannabis with their patients, which I think is fucking great, and I think is why marijuana is just going to get federally legalized at some point. It really is. Like, it will. And okay, this is bullshit. And but I do have actually another thing that's similar to this. Let me pull that up here. Here we go. Okay, how can I get this bigger? Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Bro, I've been following Kyle's advice and been drinking soda. I love soda, but it's good to keep sugar. That is true. Like whenever I do sodas, it's usually like sodas that are off brands usually. Like there's this stuff called cherry wine. Here's a bottle cap. Here's a bottle cap of it, and it's actually really good. And it uses just cane sugar. Unfortunately, the cherry is not actually like real cherry flavoring. It's just artificial bullshit. But it's not too bad. You know, I give it what it is. But I actually have some stats on taxes of that were collected from Oregon marijuana. Cherry wine is super popular in the South here. Yeah, I just started noticing this stuff just recently up here, and I didn't realize how much it was really good. So this is Oregon marijuana tax stats. Now bring the camera up to show you.
It's actually higher in that part too.
Yeah. So the thing is to say, note, starting February 2017, the split between state and local is estimated due to the collection of state and local taxes together. Local taxes collected by DOR first took effect in January 2017 and were due in February 2017. Actual state and local amounts will be known when quarterly taxes return are filed. Note 2, amount are payments made by businesses during the month rather than tax liability. Liability is determined by a tax return. Amounts can't be directly translated to sales made by businesses and consumers. Retailers retain 2% of taxes collected to reimburse the cost of tax collection. Payments might have been made later than when they were due. Oh, so here's... okay, well, alright. Source, Oregon Department of Revenue Research Section. So, this is from the state of Oregon, and I'll bring it up here. Alright, so, alright, I'll just move it right here. So, what we got going right here is the Oregon marijuana tax accounting information, and this is in the millions right here. So, this February 2016 is when the law officially took into effect, right here, and that's about $4,358,000. And before recently, the peak was here in October with 7.8 million, and then just recently in January of 2018, it went up just over $8 million with $8,001,999. And the last bit of information here is February, so just last month, and it's $6,700,000. And this is all the local information, which its peak was right here in January with over a little than $1 million. So that's just with what we got going on with our taxes here in Oregon when it comes to marijuana. So if my part of the country could actually have halfway decent schools if it legalized marijuana from taxation revenue. Exactly. I mean, what the main things that Oregon's been using marijuana taxes for is education, the fire department, and the police department, and I think also more marijuana research, and also some of the infrastructure as well. So I've definitely seen big improvement. Like we've actually were able to get some projects in the city done now because of that. In my school, we didn't have a microscope in science class. We had a picture of a microscope.
Oh
man,
damn, that fucking sucks.
Yeah, because in our science class, we were actually able to look at. We had microscopes, and we were able to like
look at the little microbes.
We were able to see we were actually able to take a look at our own cells. We even were able to learn how to actually extract DNA just from our like spit or something like that.
I remember also we did like blood tests so we could find out what type of blood we were.
Yeah, and we also did a genetics test in our senior year. Like, you know, like I really do take for granted.
I'm a type B. Yeah, I'm a B blood type then.
Yeah,
that's how I found out.
Yeah, and I'm a type O plus.
Oh shit, you could donate and
yeah,
you could pretty much like give blood to anybody. Like your blood.
Actually, now that I think about it, we did have a few lower power, cheap, shitty ones, but it didn't do much with them. Yeah, like we had like one set of cheaper ones, and we had a set of like really good quality ones that like we had that we just like got like 2 years or something ago at the time.
Damn.
So. Yeah, like, I mean, but even the cheap ones were actually fairly decent. Like, they didn't have, like, the same power magnification, but they were still able to be used for, like, what we were doing. And which was for the most part, we were just mainly looking at different types of things, cancer cells, our own cells, onion cells. I mean, we were able to look at a lot of different cool stuff.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's really sad that, you know, you have to take for granted when you look at Virginia, fucking Oklahoma, and these places where their books are basically looking like they came from 1775.
Yeah.
Seriously, like, they look like they're fucking, like, just shredded up. Like, it shocks me, man. Like, the last time I saw shit like this
totally
was, like, in first grade. Is like the last time I saw very shittily worn down books. And after, like, that was first grade. And then how long was that? Like, I don't even remember that. But, yeah. I'm going to look through here really quick, because there is one thing that I was trying to find, but it wouldn't let me get up there. There's one somewhere. Oh, here we go. This is the article. So, this article, now that it's working now, it's U.S. Attorney for Oregon says state has formidable problem with the black market marijuana. And I have not had a chance to read this at all. And, so I don't know what they're talking about here, but it says U.S. Attorney Billy Williams addresses a gathering of law enforcement and state officials at a marijuana summit in Portland on Friday. So that was reported by the Oregonian. And this is Oregonian, so Oregon Live here. The top federal prosecutor in Oregon on Friday pressed for data and details about the scope of the state's role as the source of black market marijuana. So, for data and details about the scope of the state's role as a source. Okay, so it's basically, okay, so it's saying that the prosecutor is trying to find data and research onto like this sources of a black market in Oregon that is being distributed to places like I'm assuming like Montana, Idaho, places that aren't legal yet. Like, this is why it should just be legal in the first place. But
yeah, I had the hunch. It's like, hey, maybe if you federally legalize it. I was like, oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Proving my fucking point.
For real. Yeah.
Sometimes I'm kind of tired of being right and like not being, not having to listen to me.
U.S. Attorney Billy Williams told a large gathering that included Governor Kate Brown, law enforcement officials, and representatives of the cannabis industry that Oregon has an identifiable and formidable overproduction and diversion problem. Huh? This is a fact, he told the crowd at the U.S. District Courthouse. And my responsibility is to work with our state partners to do something about it. Added Williams, make no mistake, we're going to do something about it, and that requires an effort to do this together. It requires transparency, the facts are what they are, the numbers are what they are. Williams didn't detail how his office will carry out new federal directives stripping legal protections for marijuana businesses. He said that his office needs more information so he can accurately assess the scope of the problem and come up with a response. Okay, so he's actually basically going to try to pull a federal government establishment clause law bullshit and saying federal law overrides state law, and we're going to be able to crack down on these marijuana businesses because they're a source of the black market problem that's going around Montana or...
So he's full of shit.
Yes, he's full of shit.
So, fuck him. Like, he should be repeatedly kicked in the balls with a tire iron until all he can do is sing soprano.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
Like, fuck that guy. And, like, most people in Oregon are not going to agree with him. They probably booed him off the stage anyway.
I've gotten a hold of some recreational bud from a dispensary in probably Colorado, California that is still in the packaging when I got it all the way over here. It can still get all the way around. Exactly. Like, me, so, like, my sister had a wedding, like, 2 years ago, and we drove there, and we brought, like, a fucking quarter with us and gave her, like, half of it. It's not that hard to transport the shit. Seriously, like, I mean, 64% of the Americans are pro-legalization of marijuana. So, I mean, it's kind of obvious that basically, normal people realize that it's bullshit what this whole drug war is. So, I mean, yes. So the last bit of this says, Williams didn't say what his dad is looking for, but he previously has said that he wants more information from the state about black market trafficking. In recent opinion piece published by the Oregonian, Williams said he's awaiting a final decision on Oregon's state police report on the issue. He conveyed a dialogue marijuana summit where public health law enforcement officials gave presentations along with landowners and industry representatives. He said Oregonians are worried about the implications of legal marijuana on their property rights, their water rights, and the environment. Public health, particularly teen access and use, is a priority, he said. I'm not an alarmist. Please don't have that perception of me. I just believe that looking at things head on. Take the blinders off, here are the realities. The press was shut out of those presentations and was allowed only to report on statements offered by Williams and Brown.
Okay. I like how that one guy, was saying, like, I'm only stating the facts here, but he also, like...
Doesn't say them.
He completely... No, like, the thing, I think what he's trying to do is, like, he's using a half-truth, and he's not actually giving people the whole picture. He's conveniently sweeping under the rug the fact that, yeah, other states are getting access to this weed that was already purchased by somebody else, and that person's, purchasing the weed from, a legal cannabis dispensary in that state, sending it over to the other states.
Yeah, and actually,
yeah, man, I'm gonna hook up my friends in Montana, with some weed that I legally bought in Portland, y'all. It's gonna be fucking awesome, dude. Fucking, this shit's fire, bro. Yeah, I don't know.
Did Pauly Shore just corrupt your soul for a moment?
God. But I mean,
bro.
That's how a lot of people act. That's how a lot of people act. So like. That's what they'll do.
And I should actually make a correction. I should make a correction. Montana has medical marijuana legalized right now. So
okay, but like
the dispensary is not legal. Yeah, so dispensaries are allowed in Montana. It's just for medical purposes only. So yeah, because my sister lives there and she told me about that when it became legalized. You can take the wax and press it up against the bottom of your shoe so that it looks like you stepped in gum. You can take it through an airport that way. Oh, well, I'm gonna do a little family trick that my mom says. She takes like a little travel pack of coffee. We'll take like a joint container, here. I think I have one. Probably about like. Oh well, I have a glass joint, so this kind of works. About something like about yay big, and we'll just stuff it in the middle of the a coffee thing and just call it good. And would always be able to get away with it. A dupe tube. It is a dupe tube. But U.S. Attorney General. Alright, so the thing goes on to continue. U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions has last month rolled Oregon's cannabis industry when he released a memo saying that he will let federal prosecutors decide how aggressively to enforce federal marijuana and law in states where the drug is legal. Under President Obama, the federal government took a largely hands-off approach to recreational and medical marijuana, provided states developed a robust regulations targeting illegal distribution. In the document known as the Cole Memo, federal authorities spelled out their marijuana enforcement properties to include cracking down on the black market, violent crime, and to keep the drug from minors. Those guidelines served as a roadmap for states as they crafted rules. Under the federal law, marijuana remains a Schedule I drug, a category of drugs that includes heroin and is defined as substances that have high potential for abuse and no currently accepted medical use. Brown also spoke briefly on Friday, telling those gathered that Williams has assured her staff that lawful Oregon businesses are not targets of law enforcement. She did not offer details on how the state will address Oregon's role as the illicit source of cannabis, saying that only she's committed to keeping cannabis in the state. So, I know Kate Brown is not against marijuana. I know that much. And she also just voted both bills for net neutrality recently. The Humanist Report did a really good report on that. I actually kind of, I think that'll be our last story. I'll go in on that. Because that's awesome. After this, there's one more marijuana article, and then I'm going to find that Humanist Report thing, because I actually have not seen that yet. I'm going to click out all these really quick because I have so many links. Yeah, and we already seen them all, so it's irrelevant to keep them on here.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah, you know what? The federal law trumps state law, so I don't want legal marijuana here.
Kate Brown is bi and has 2 daughters.
Why does that even matter if she's bisexual?
Because bi pride, bitch.
It doesn't matter.
There is a 2-to-1 majority here, motherfucker.
It just doesn't matter.
2-to-1 majority. Okay, here, let me look this up. It should just be like one of his first things. I also support him on Patreon
I wouldn't
as
give
well.
a shit.
Oh, here we go. One day ago.
If like one of our politicians happened to be gay, I don't give a shit. I mean, Harvey Milk was gay.
There was one of our mayors was gay here too.
Sam Adams.
Sam Adams, yeah, and he resigned, I think, because he supposedly had a thing with like some 17-year-old gay kid. But it's a weird story. You have a Patreon? Yeah. I mean, how do I get to Deep Fat Fried Friday episodes? I mean, come on. You know I have to. You know I have to see Andy Dick just get shit on by 3 neckbeards. I cannot miss that. You know that, right? I mean, I don't have like a Patreon for myself yet. I'm gonna wait a little bit before I start that. Before I get committed to that. But I do have a Patreon where I support others at the moment. I just support the Human Support and Deep Fat Fried at the moment, but just due to funds, those are just the 2 I'm supporting right now. But once things start, getting better, I'll start getting the shit branched out and stuff. But let's see about this whole thing right here.
So on April 23rd.
Okay, I just have to. Can we just see, dude? Look at this. Oops. Look at this beard.
Last time I saw him, he had no facial hair. Holy crap! The transformation is incredible.
He looks banging, but. I support TJ, Kyle, and DP and DFF. Yeah, like I honestly don't know why I haven't did a Patreon for Kyle. I mean, he's like the one who got me into politics and shit. Oops, got Tyler just off in the corner. But yeah, like he was the one. Like he was like TYT like got me into it, but Kyle got me into it. Like he was the one who really got me into it. There's just no way.
The thing I like about Kyle is that he's able to like construct. Very eloquent arguments, but also like be very blunt and very easy for like anybody to understand.
Yeah. I'm 20 years old too. Look at my luck. I'm the same way. I hate it.
Man, I have the opposite problem.
Yeah. He has what I want. He has what I got wanting.
Because like sometimes hair on my neck just grows too much, and I just want to shave it off because I don't like having a neck beard. Neckbeards are fucking disgusting. What kind of woman is gonna want is patchy, like uneven shit all over?
Yeah, I got like something going on here all the time. Like I got like this side grows more than this side. It's ridiculous.
Like what am I, a weeaboo with a fucking body pillow with the likeness of my favorite waifu?
Yeah,
like a hole for my penis in. Like ew, no. I have sex with so much. It has so much sex with my body pillow. It's starting to stand on its own now. My wife's going to life.
Oh my god.
I took that from Filthy Frank, though.
Rest in peace, Papa. But, I'm gonna let this play on and then take this real quick.
Repeal of net neutrality will officially go into effect. So now is the time to take action if you care about net neutrality. Now, thus far, there's been a number of governors who took action to unilaterally secure net neutrality via executive order. And there's also 2 states that passed a bill into law to make sure that net neutrality is mandated. And this includes Washington, and I've got great news. Oregon just became the 2nd state to codify a bill into law. As Gizmodo's Melanie Ehrenkatz reports, in February, 3 middle school students...
Kate Brown's right there.
Helped push a statewide net neutrality bill. Today, Governor Kate Brown is headed to the girls' middle school in Portland, where she will sign the bill into law. It's an honor for the governor to come to our school and sign a bill that's so important to the 3 of us. Luca, a 12-year-old at Mount Tabor Middle School, told Gizmodo in an email.
Hey, I know where that is.
Luca, along with friends Lola, 13, and Athena, 13,
I've been to Mount Tabor.
Before the Oregon House Committee on Rules in support of the bill, helping bring greater attention to it before the state's lawmakers voted it through to Governor Brown's desk. The legislation, House Bill 4155, aims to help guarantee that Oregon residents get the net neutrality protections that the federal
or as I like to call them, a shit pie.
In December of last year. Specifically, the Republican-led FCC voted to overturn the agency's 2015 Open Internet Order, which forbade internet service providers from throttling or blocking legal online content or paid prioritization, better known as fast lanes, for companies that pay to have their services delivered to customers at greater speeds. Oregon's new law makes it illegal for the state's public bodies to work with internet service providers that take part in discriminatory activities such as paid prioritization and blocking content online. However, as Ars Technica puts it, it is likely ISPs will sue to strike down Oregon's new law, as companies like AT&T and Verizon had said they would do in response to other state efforts. When the federal government repealed net neutrality, they took a step backward, Governor Brown said in a speech on Monday at Mount
end
Tabor.
their business in Oregon. Everybody starts switching to T-Mobile. Or just do. They're not as bad as some people say. It's really not that bad. I mean, if you just have a data problem, just like leech off of your friend's Wi-Fi. I do it all the time.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi's pretty banging. But
and he doesn't care.
I mean, what's interesting too is that Kate Brown has had. I looked at her open secrets before when I was doing a project in college last term, and she has donations from Comcast. So when this bill was going through before it got passed, I was.
That's surprising.
Yeah, like I was actually worried that maybe she would fall, be a shill for Comcast and voted no. But I wish all telecommunications were publicly funded and provided so that they can't. So that there can't be any fuckery. Yeah, like, I agree with that. Like, I think there should be public broadband, and, I mean, that would be great. Everybody would love it. I mean, I don't think no one would...
I would not mind public broadband. To be statewide. Just like a big fucking tower. This is like, for public broadband.
Well, Wi-Fi. I mean, it wouldn't be just one fat-ass tower, but
in Oregon, you have Wi-Fi connectivity everywhere. It's just like, dude... I haven't left my house for days, man. All that internet porn.
Oh, God. Or just they haven't left their RV just on the side of the highway because they just are just all happy.
But you know what? The pros and cons to everything, and I'd rather have unrestricted access and free speech for everybody, even if it means some people get distracted and they get fired from work from having a binge of, watching torrented episodes of Adventure Time.
Anytime a building is built, it gets hooked up to public broadband, just like city and water. Yeah, exactly.
Like an embarrassing way to get fired.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's built-in Wi-Fi for apartment complexes and shit like that, and businesses. It would just be easier if just the state just dealt with that. So no one has to worry about it, and also there is none of that fuckery with telecommunications companies like Comcast, Xfinity, Verizon. There's. Because they're just going to fuck you over the ass, giving you, oh, you can have these channels for $29.99.
By nullifying their business.
Yeah. Yeah, just make it so that,
So, hey, you try to put this in our ass? We have this big old brass one, then we're going to put it in your ass, and it's going to be heated. We're going to brand you in the inside.
Basically. Fuck. It's almost 2 in the morning, who gives a fuck on these streams? These are informal. These are meant to be informal.
They're completely informal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, me doing these streams is partially inspired by ideology and all that shit, I'm not gonna lie. Totally. Telecommunications is a simple service. It's not like some complex product like car that needs to be engineered and designed. Yeah, that's what I mean, I think if you talk to conservatives who are or even libertarians who are this for the free market, I think if you just gave them just talk to them enough about the whole telecommunications thing and realize that the internet should be a utility, a public utility for everyone to use, because it already is kind of like that. It's just that the entrances to them basically is all mostly private, which is Comcast, etc. So there is there could be a debate, I think, made for it easily. And net neutrality was great, but I think, if we can make it easily, I just want to go to the record and say, fuck Dave Rubin. Yeah, I don't get him, dude. When I first started getting into politics, I, looked him up a little bit, but, yeah, I just...
Remind me who Dave Rubin is, again.
I had more respect for Steve Shives than Dave Rubin. At least Shives is more honest to Rubin. Oh!
I heard something about like the word Shives, like in Shakespeare's time, like contemporary to his time.
Yeah.
Referring to like a sexually transmitted disease. So that's like a double roast on Steve Shives.
Oh.
Fuck you, Steve Shives. You are a faggot. You are a massive, gigantic faggot. As well as every single fucking social justice warrior out there. People think I'm probably homophobic. I'm not.
I mean,
it's like
you're definitely not. You're next to a half fag right here.
Really, like, you know. Well, I mean, that's not even my definition of faggot. When it comes to the definition of faggot, you know, I'm actually referring. It's a metaphor to the original definition, which is like, you know, bundles of sticks that are really brittle, really dry, and they're used for firewood. So if someone's a faggot, I'm pretty much calling them insecure, and so they snap under the slightest
Steve Shives would
pressure.
call me a racist for being a white guy that left Islam. Yeah, he would call me a racist just for seeing that, just because I probably have that Native American poster right there. Like, I mean, he would probably he'd be like
offended by everything.
Like, I think he's literally the most offended white man in America.
And also, I'm quoting Shuana when I say this, but I think it's true. His mouth does look like a wet butthole.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that his mouth and his bunghole are probably the same, considering how much he gets pegged by women.
The only thing that's gonna, like, penetrate his real butthole is a fucking chode. Like, it's as wide as that fucking fedora over there.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. I'm gonna play this real quick. I'm gonna grab a drink really quick. If you got insight, just pause it really quick.
In order to want to move forward, to make sure that the internet is a level playing field instead of exacerbating economic disparity. Now, it is true that AT&T and Verizon will be challenging this. In fact, the lobbying firm that represents them has already stated publicly that they will aggressively challenge any state that chooses to pass their own net neutrality rules. But with that being said, this is still a victory, because even if it's struck down, the fact that we have it on the books at least for a year or two, that is only further strengthening our argument, and it's better for the residents of Oregon if we have net neutrality longer. So this might be temporary, who knows if it's struck down or not, but even if it is, it's still important, it's still a win. Now again, Washington was the only other state that passed a bill protecting net neutrality, and when it comes to the 5 states whose governors stepped up, that includes Montana, New Jersey, New York, Hawaii, and Vermont. Now, currently, there's just a couple of weeks left, and if you live in a state that hasn't taken action yet, it may be the case that your state does act, because there are bills circulating in multiple legislatures. That includes Alaska, California, Colorado, Delaware, Georgia, Idaho, Kansas, Kentucky, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Missouri, Nebraska, New Mexico, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee.
These are the possible states that are considering also joining us in the, you know, creating net neutrality laws.
Yeah, there's a whole map of that,
and
too.
of course, yeah, the, you know, federal parts of the federal government are going to, like, aggressively try to reverse this shit. But, like, you know, that's why I'm saying, like, public broadband, you know, and in, like, the major cities of each state. You know, they can't do a fucking thing about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's why, I mean, we got state laws doing their own thing, because it's just like this, because this will happen.
I want my state's rights.
For real.
You know, there's, you know, and some people would probably call me a Republican, because back then Republicans, you know, wanted their state's rights.
Yeah.
Some people even argue that's what the Civil War was fought over, states' rights.
Though,
but
when you translate that, that's, you know, we want our slave boys.
We wanted to own humans.
Yeah, basically.
We wanted to own another human being, and that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's actually really fucked that there's still slavery going on, like in Libya and all this bullshit, too.
I think robots, if we have robots, you know, do labor for people, it's pretty much gonna nullify.
Oh, automation! Oh my, automation's just like a whole another story. I mean, but that's true. That's true. I mean,
you don't have to feed a robot.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, our jobs would be to maintain them, maybe agriculture to some extent, and just, you know, just other things that robots won't be able to do.
You know, have technicians to keep them dumbed down enough so then they don't reach a point of singularity, sentience, and try to kill us. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about all that. I mean, the whole idea that they could take over somehow with like Skynet scenario is definitely a plausibility, but also, who knows? I mean, like, I know in the End of the World Part 2, which is the Patreon deep dive of their End of the World segments, they talked about AI for a little bit as a concept, and it's definitely interesting, but but I don't know how plausible it would definitely be though.
Well,
Genial,
the fact that Stephen Hawking was actually making an argument as to how that could be plausible. I believe it.
Yeah, like, and I definitely consider it. It's just, it's not like I'm saying this bullshit ain't gonna happen. I mean, like, my thing is just like, I mean, I feel like, we're jumping the gun on, like this is gonna happen soon. Like, I mean, when the time comes, we should definitely make sure there's legislation in place so that, like, we don't get freaking AI, like, bombing us and shit. But, I mean, isn't that what we're already kind of doing now with drones and shit? Like, only a human's still controlling it? I mean, like, we're already partially there, too, and to some extent. It's just that humans still control the minds of them. Though, there's definitely a lot of different stuff about that.
West Virginia and Wisconsin. Now, these states...
West Virginia and Wisconsin were the last states mentioned. Nice.
In particular are important because they're considering bills to protect net neutrality, and they haven't had a governor step up to protect net neutrality unilaterally with an executive order. So if you live in one of these states, please do yourself a favor and call your state representative or state senator and make sure that he or she supports this bill. Yeah,
so you heard him, boy. So contact your local representative and make him support this bill. What was the bill? Did he say in there? Yeah, I'm going to go back just so I can hear it.
Come on. Now, currently there's just a couple of weeks left. And if you live in a state that hasn't taken action yet, it may be the case that your state does act, because there are bills circulating in multiple legislatures. That includes Alaska, California.
Okay, so I guess it's just your local legislature on what's at.
Yeah,
so,
in most states.
Okay.
So
okay. I thought there was like a federal thing where also going on that wasn't aware.
They're thinking about, like, considering actually doing this. The way that we've done it. What were the other states that have done it before? Washington.
We're the only two.
Wow, the only two?
Yeah. I think we're the only twos right now.
Montana did it, though.
No, that... Maybe. I mean...
heard, like, from Kyle Kalinske, he said that...
Oh, yeah, that's true, yeah.
There were 5 states that did it. So,
I think there was 5 states that passed the bill, but there hasn't actually been, like, passed. Like, the governor has to sign it off. Like, Kate Brown just did, obviously, and,
Comcast is going to be pissed.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, possibly. I think the only 2 that definitely do, though, are Washington and Oregon, but maybe. I mean...
You're not going to give us donations?
Here, have my old dildo.
Sure
what the fuck? What?
It pretty much means fuck you.
As of the 23rd of April, net neutrality will be gone federally, and you will be vulnerable. Your ISP has the authority to block websites, to throttle content, and it's not going to be good. Now, Connecticut was previously on that list until just recently when 2 Republicans, one in particular, decided to unilaterally kill it in committee, excuse me. Paul Formica, in particular, invoked this really weird, obscure legislative rule.
Can I just say how awfully fucked his nose looks?
I know.
Oh my god, like here.
It's the weirdest nose I've ever seen.
Good, what the fuck is this? Oh. Just why? He looks like the granddad from Up.
I was actually looking for his nose. I was like, where the fuck is his nose?
Like the dude straight up looks like that main old guy from Up. Whatever that old man's name is.
But it's like
to make sure it doesn't even get voted on.
He is the real life Up character. Whoever that dude is, he's the real life that.
He's not short
the fight to stop progress that we're making.
He's got a keen nose, but it's deflated.
These internet service providers.
If Brett was a Jew. Brett Keane was a Jew.
What's his power to stop the momentum?
Yeah, oh, my bad. Here, that will go back a little bit.
It doesn't even get voted on. So the fight to stop progress that we're making, it's fierce. These internet service providers have billions in profit potentially to be made with the repeal of net neutrality, and they're doing everything in their power to stop the momentum. But we can't stop the momentum. Now, unfortunately, I've seen a lot of people tune out of the net neutrality debate. And we can't do that. We have to stay vigilant, and we have to exert pressure on lawmakers, because If we don't, then they will back down because there's a lot of political issues that need our attention currently, or need their attention more specifically. So if we basically don't put pressure on them and keep pressure on them consistently, then they're going to tune out and focus on something else, but we can't let them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that, we don't have, we won the battle here, and, now it's just another different fight now. But, yeah, man, I mean, just like, if I don't know, like, how strong, like, grassroots is going on there in, like, South Carolina for you, or just for anyone else who might be watching the stream afterwards once we're done here. Yeah, like, get in contact with them. Like, I mean, I'm personally going to look into the Democrat Socialists here in Portland, because they've been recently doing a lot of little town hall events for themselves and stuff, and they recently did one on healthcare. I saw that on Twitter. I'm like, yo, I want to be on this. I mean, hey, let's work it out. And now I'm checking out their site and going to look into it more. But, yeah, and I mean, like, what I'm going to try to also do is just try to spread the word of what's going on here, and upload it as well, because I've been to a couple of marches and protests here already and documented a lot of it, and it's great. I mean, while the last one I went to was the March for not the March for Our Lives, it was the Women's March, I think, and yeah, grassroots don't really exist here other than Charleston, where I live, and Greenville, where I just give up to being bigger cities. Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay, grassroots don't really exist other than Charleston, where I live, and Greenville, where I grew up, just bigger cities. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, the bigger cities is generally where the grassroots is going to be. I mean, locally it can be too, like in little small towns, but not, I mean, in the South, I mean, yeah, you're not really going to see that, unfortunately. But, I mean, even here, I mean, to an extent, because, like, like, Portland is either, like, progressive liberal or just liberal. Yeah. Or if you go into like Eastern Oregon or Southern Oregon, then you're gonna get like libertarian Republican moderates. Yeah. At the worst, you're gonna get like some fundamentalists nutball. Like that's.
But they're a minority.
Like I'm not talking about like your Southern Alabamian motherfucker. Like
those are inbred. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about like
people with 46 chromosomes.
Like
I'm just slaying people.
You're just slaying them.
I'm sorry, anybody who's watching from Alabama.
I mean, I'm not even talking about that. I mean, just like they're like it's they're like a hardline Christian or something like that. But if you just were to first meet them, you wouldn't really notice that. You would have to talk them for a little bit before they start screaming out their weird shit. I want to move to Oregon or Washington so bad. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I've always said I would never leave Oregon because, I don't know where else I would go other than here. I mean, I have to admit, Oregon is probably the most progressive state in the country, most likely, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, if not, then maybe Washington might just borderline it. Maybe California, but that's debatable. I mean, yeah, there's definitely... I mean, I wonder how it would be to kind of live in a different state, though. I've heard that people in high school say that Canada's healthcare is awful and way worse than America's. I mean, that's just obviously not true, though. I mean, if you want to look at, if they're talking about like death panels or something like that, or like waiting lines, yeah, it's true.
We've got them in America.
Yeah, it's true, but it's in America, motherfucker. That's where we have them, and it's based on the wallet, not on your need. Mm-hmm. And if there are waiting lines in Canada or any other, healthcare system in the other part of the country.
It's a priority-based system.
Yeah, like
the person who's about to fucking die if they don't get immediate medical coverage, they're gonna get it.
Yeah,
they're gonna fucking get it.
And they're just gonna, or even then.
Person who needs leg surgery because they got in a car accident but they're not like totally dying, they'll have to wait a little while. Sure. But if it means saving the life for the other person, or like a woman's in labor, their water just broke, they're gonna get treatment right away.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a segment on Secular Talk where there was a hospital that kicked out some old lady and left her in her nightgown too. And patient gown, and it was like in the middle of winter too. I don't even know where the fuck it was.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, and that's you know, that's the state of our fucking healthcare system right there.
See, man, I was.
It's just leave them out in the street. That's essentially how it is.
I had like this like friendly debate with like someone in college, and I was like telling him like, yeah, over 45,000 people die every year because they don't have access to basic fucking healthcare in the United States.
Yeah, it's
so
ridiculous.
I even give them, you know, the source. It's Harvard. In fact, actually, it's the first result. If you look up 45,000 people that, you know, die and then healthcare, that'll be one of the first results you'll find. Cited by Harvard University.
Here, I'll look it up.
Harvard University.
Yeah,
I ain't shitting you. Like, you know, if you can't find that, you know, actually you can. I'm like, you know, I swear my life on that. Like, you can kill me if you want. I'll let you if I'm wrong. Because I know I'm right. And I hate being right, you know, in the extent that, like, you know, people die from this. And then he gave, like, this thing, I just saw a study where 18% of people don't really know how insurance works. It's like, you never gave me a source, though. So I can't take that.
Yeah, you're right. Harvard right here.
Yep. See?
All I did was say 45 people die from lack of healthcare. That's all I wrote, and it says new study finds 45,000 deaths annually linked to lack of healthcare by news.harvard.edu. So yep, this is Harvard. Linked to lack of health coverage. Yep. So uninsured working age Americans have 40% higher death risk than privately insured counterparts. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Here we go. Baga bing, baga boom. So yeah, and. You know, it's just at this point.
You know, you gotta pay a.
At this point, you know, anyone who's just arguing against like healthcare for all is essentially just, you know, objectively wrong. Yeah, they're just objectively wrong at this point.
They're either dumb or they're just being lied to.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull this back up. When I die, I'll need private American healthcare once I get the Muslim afterlife because my hand will have quintuplets. I felt like that would have been a lot more funnier if I didn't fuck up that like 3 times, but damn. Oh, and man, I don't even want. I don't even want to know how many children I would have from my hands. Like how it, like just seeing the births.
Where's the vagina? Like. You know,
births coming out of like the fingernails, like the fetuses just like what the fuck?
It's like, does Muhammad like run a an insurance company to make sure you're it's not actually virgins? There's actually a mistranslation, 72 virgins, because there's a similar word in the Arabic, because it was actually the Quran was actually first written in Aramaic, and then it was translated into Old Arabic. So there's actually a mistranslation. 72 virgins actually was to mean like date, as in the fruits.
So they get 72 dates
to eat in a perpetually lush garden. You know, that's their heaven. It's a garden because they're from a barren fucking desert.
Well, a lot of ISIS fighters have a very unfortunate afterlife to look forward to. Damn.
Because you thought they would take shit literally. Well, they didn't take that literally.
Not at all. Damn. The Quran says that heaven has many layers. The top layers where Muhammad and the martyrs are. So basically, according to ISIS's standards, literally all of ISIS is in fucking the like top layer.
So I mean, like, if like that heaven, wouldn't there be like?
I mean, and also not even that, but whenever I'm like watching like some like live leak shit or something like that, or like Palestinian like Palestinian protests or something, I actually like. They will say, like, he was martyred or something like that, saying Allahu Akbar, when someone dies or gets shot at. And it's just like, so are all these people just suddenly, like, the top, like, they're gonna meet Muhammad, like, say, hey, what's up, bro? I just got shot and killed by something, I don't even know what. America is real, I don't know, just another drug warlord out here in bumfuck desert of nowhere, who gives a fuck of desert?
Southern drawl?
Go Fuckistan, I don't know.
Go Fuckistan. Where I trafficked the sale of, like, opium.
The bottom layers are where all the Muslim normies and all the people who died before the age of reason are. Damn. Yeah, like, I mean, like, yeah, like, I know in Norse mythology, they have, like, a similar thing, which is hell. It's literally called hell, too. but it's for
it's not actually a place of suffering, though.
Yeah, it's just this very gloomy, depressing place, really. Like that.
It's basically a purgatory where the
sick, where the sick and the old aged and people who just are like,
people who didn't die a glorious death.
We just died. Whatever.
They just didn't die a glorious death. They didn't go to Valhalla.
Yeah.
The funny thing, actually, the Nords, they didn't actually believe in like an eternal heaven. That's actually how the Christians interpreted it. They actually went to Valhalla temporarily, and then
because
they would reincarnate.
Because they were only meant to be there for when Ragnarok happens. They would be spirit warriors. Yeah.
In the service of Odin.
Essentially, yeah. Some teachers say if you die before age of 15, oh shit. Disappeared on my phone, but it'll pop up here in a second. Yeah, I just have one more article here, and then we'll probably just say a few more random things and just bullshit for a little more, and probably call it a night. Is that gonna come up here? What was that comment? What did that say? Islam teachers say if you die before age of 15 for boys and 9 for girls, you get to go to heaven by default because you weren't old enough to sin. See, that's, I mean, even then, that's, like, some bullshit, because, like, what is even sin, you know? And also, like, you know, a 9-year-old could, like, jack a cookie from, like, a cookie jar, or, like, they could accidentally steal a candy bar from a store without realizing it, because they don't know that. So, like, you know, there's a lot of things that can be considered sins to a normal person that, you know, kid... you know, just could accidentally do.
Well, I mean, part of sin is having an intent about what they're doing.
Yeah, though, do a lot of Christians and stuff like, or like, you know, do they really consider that part though?
So like when an older sibling like bullies a younger sibling, you know, like that would be the intent. So like technically they could sin even if they're like 8.
Yeah, I mean, there's also that too, you know.
The Mormons have this thing where it's like, you have to be at least 8 years old to be like in the age of accountability. It's like a 4-year-old could like hit someone without being provoked.
Like, are they literally trying to mimic chimps and shit? Because literally, baby chimps, they actually have like a white little fur ball of tail, like in, you know, when they're babies and stuff, and that is assigned to adult chimps. You don't fuck with the baby, just whatever, just let it do its thing. Right. But as soon as that goes away, they will actually discipline the shit out of it and realize, you know, like, I mean, because, you know, they're very family-oriented species and shit, but are they really trying to mimic that? Because I'm going back to that, because I just distinctively... It's either chimpanzees or a different type of monkey primate species, but there's a species like that does that, but it's ridiculous.
You might as well act as primitively as they do.
I mean, they're not as insane, though. I mean, chimps have straight up, like, cannibalized their leaders before in, like, family tribes before.
Mormons might have. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, God, I don't even want to think about that. Oh, Lord. But I got this one last little article. It's from Oregon, the Oregonian, but it's by the Washington Post. But the Oregonian's just, you know, republishing it for, you know, it's marijuana news. So it says Washington, President Donald Trump, believe me, Donald Trump, the tremendous president, believe me, has promised a top Senate Republican that he will support congressional efforts to protect states that have legalized marijuana.
That's actually surprising.
Diffusing a months-long standoff between Senator Cory Gardner, nice, and the administration over Justice Department nominees.
I loosened it.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm actually not surprised, because Trump in the past has says he wants the states to take care of it, and you know, I actually, out of all the things that I do believe out of him, this is just one of them. And trust me, all the things I believe out of his fucking mouth, I could count on my one hand. So...
That's very little.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, but this is one of them. Like, I think he actually doesn't give a fuck about marijuana, because he's done cocaine, I'm sure. He's done all sorts of other drugs. He's a fucking rich billionaire. He's just like this tremendously billionaire rich man. Or billionaire. I don't even think he's even a billionaire, but maybe. I mean, he's very secretive about how much he's worth. Yeah.
It's all because he's got a lot of debt.
Exactly. Like, he has a lot of debt. He won't reveal his tax returns, which, you know, he's the first president in a long time to not do this. So
which one was the first?
The first one, I don't remember who the first one is, but it was like the last like 10 or 15 presidents. So I don't know. I'm not exactly too sure what the first one is, but after like that, after the first one did it, it just became a continuous thing that they just did, which I think is okay. Yeah, I think it's fine. You know, there's nothing saying that you can't not, you know, reveal them, but it's a transparency issue for sure, and it's also just building a trust with your constituents and your people. And I don't think we have to go into how untrustworthy Trump is on that now, do we? But it continues to say, in January, the Colorado Republican said he would block all DOJ nominees after Attorney General Jeff Sessions issued a memo that heightened the prospect of a federal marijuana crackdown in states that have legalized the substance. Gardner's home state made recreational marijuana legal in 2014, which is Colorado. But in a phone call in late Wednesday, Trump told Gardner that despite the DOJ memo, the marijuana industry in Colorado won't be targeted. The senator said in a statement Friday, satisfied the first-term senator is now backing down from his nominee blockade. Since the campaign, President Trump has consistently supported states' rights to decide for themselves how to best approach marijuana. Yeah, that's why, because he's out of all the things he will say, this is one thing I
feel like in some aspects, though, Trump's a fucking hypocrite because
he
appointed a shit pie, you know, to be head of the FCC and essentially ruin net neutrality.
Yeah, like, I mean...
So if he wants to talk about states' rights, he should have been practicing what he preached on that part, too. The thing about having those principles...
But guess what?
You gotta be, you know, sticking to them in every single issue.
Yeah, in a way, I mean, that's a way for states to express their rights after that. Yeah. You know, so in a way that maybe Trump isn't a hypocrite on that just because... If he's wanting states' rights and he didn't want the federal government to do it, it would somewhat make sense to just repeal net neutrality. Then let states do what they want. But it's it's obviously that it was just, you know, so the telecom communications can make more money, make more profit, fuck over independent media and the internet on, you know. It's pretty obvious what their whole ploy was, but you can make an argument to say otherwise, but it doesn't mean it's right. But I mean, because I already know.
Because I still don't believe in that argument.
Yeah, like I mean, I could understand. Like that's why I said. Like that's why I said my argument because it's easy to, you know, like I understand that. Like I understand that argument. But I understand that argument, but it's still wrong though because you have to just look at the main reasons. And it's just the money. And Gardner said on Friday, late Wednesday, I received commitment from the president that the Department of Justice's rescission of the Cole memo will not impact Colorado illegal marijuana industry. He added, furthermore, President Trump has assured me that he will support a federalism-based legislation for a solution to fix states' rights issues once and for all. Because of these commitments, I have informed the administration that I will be lifting my remaining holds on Department of Justice nominees. Well, what the fuck?
It's funny, it's actually an advertisement to the college I go to. So half of these people that I see are actually people that I know. It's weird.
Oh my god, yeah, we have an advertisement for Clackamas Community College. Yeah. I don't go there, but he does. Yeah, I go to Portland Community.
It's just like all these places that they're filming, I
know of,
yeah. I've been there. I know exactly what they look like.
Yeah.
Like half of the people on that screen, I know personally.
Yeah.
So weird.
Gardner, who heads the campaign operation charged with hanging on to Republican Senate majority, was irate in January when Sessions revoked guidance on the Obama administration known as the Cole memo. So it sounds like Cory Gardner's definitely is pro-marijuana on this issue here. So overall it sounds like he's actually attempting to talk to Trump and be like, yo, this marijuana issue, you know, we need to not have like this enforcement from the federal government, and we need to actually implement something so these states' rights are actually more enforced on a federal basis, because there's just, you know, I think that's what I'm getting from what it sounds like. It sounds like he wants to try to get federalism-based legislative solution to fix the states' rights issue. So from what I'm kind of dissecting from that is he wants to because he doesn't sound like he's supportive of Jeff Sessions at all. So it sounds like he wants to have federal legislation.
Well, anybody with an inkling of fucking common sense
will hate Jeff Sessions. Yeah. So like yes, but for the marijuana issue, he's definitely against him. So, like, from what it sounds like, he wants like a federal legislation that will support the state's medical marijuana, or at least or recreational, at least medical marijuana legalization. From what it sounds like on here so far. But Trump has held sharply different view from Sessions on the issue, very much. During the presidential campaign, Trump said in an interview with KUSA-TV in Colorado that he said, it's up to the states on the marijuana issue.
Similar reason as to why John Boehner, decided to just, like, flip. I think it's mainly because, hey, there's money in it. You know how profitable it is? You know how much money Colorado alone made?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, money? 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 Money, 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 money. That's the whole reason. It's because it's profitable.
Yeah. And Trump, quote, does respect Colorado's right to decide for themselves how to best approach this issue. White House Legislative Affairs Director Mark Short said in an interview Friday. Gardner held up Yeah, apparently New York's about to get recreational fairly soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Oklahoma is also going to have a medical marijuana ballot initiative on that. It was either that or Ohio. I think it's Ohio. They're having a measure in May, somewhere later in May. And yeah, and the rest of it says Gardner helped out about 20 justice nominees, a significant number considering state Republicans in White House for months accused Democrats for slowing down consideration of other Trump's picks. Okay. Clearly, we've expressed our frustration with the delay in a lot of our nominees and feel that too often senators hijack a nominee for policy solutions, Short said. So we're reluctant to award that sort of behavior. But at the same time, we're anxious to get our team at the Department of Justice. The bill has not been finalized, but Gardner has been talking quietly with other senators about the legislative fix that would, in effect, make clear that federal government cannot interfere with states that would vote to legalize marijuana. So, okay, so he's not trying to push legislation to, like, have like a similar legislation to like marijuana legalization, but he wants to put legislation that protects it at least. So while there's still this whole big issue with the Schedule I bullshit, he wants to at least have legislation to protect what's already legalized, so they don't have to worry about it as much. Just specifically on the marijuana issue, sounds like. Because if you did this with everything, oh my god, why? It would be on Articles of Confederation already. He said, continues on here, it's almost done here. Quote, my colleagues and I are continuing to work diligently on a bipartisan legislative solution that can pass Congress and head to the President's desk to deliver on his campaign position, Gardner said. In addition to Gardner's holds, DOJ has faced notable bipartisan pushback from Capitol Hill when it comes to marijuana. And a lot of other things, too. Senator Orrin Hatch and Kamala Harris wrote to Sessions this week urging him to back off efforts to curtail medical marijuana research at the Drug Enforcement Administration. The Washington Post reported in August that Senator Sessions' DOJ effectively hamstringing the agency's research efforts to making it harder to grow marijuana. Separately, former House Speaker John Boehner announced this week that he was joining the board of directors for cannabis company, which is like, I want to say Cambridge Analytica for some reason, but I don't know why, but that was in my head. I forgot the name of it, but it's but in the earlier in the stream we do talk about this, and it's not a big deal right now, but it is in our stream later in the beginning, but
just like well over an hour ago.
Oh yeah, 2 hours ago. Holy shit, this is the longest stream. Damn. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Okay, damn. So he has opposed decriminalizing the substance as an elected official. So yeah. And that's the final article we got going on here. So man, 2 hours and 28 minutes. All right. Damn. This is the longest stream I've done, that's for sure. Holy shit.
I guess that's one good thing that I can say that Trump actually kind of did. Sort of good thing that he did.
Yeah. Most definitely, yeah. I mean, it's, you know, kind of shocking that one thing he's consistent on, it's weed. It's weird. I don't know why he picked Sessions, though, for Attorney General. I don't know. I probably do. I'm sure I could find out why, but yeah, I don't remember it at the moment. But yeah. But I do hope New York pushes for that recreational marijuana, though. Because I think Andrew Cuomo is pushing that. But I know Cynthia Nixon, who's running against him to his left, who's also was from Sex and the City. I know she's definitely going to attempt to, she's pro-marijuana, and she's going to try to run against him. And if she wins, that'll be awesome. And I think she's a lesbian, too. Which, you know, isn't technically important, but I guess it is now in politics today. But
I don't think it is, and it shouldn't be.
Yeah, I mean, it's just,
I don't care where you put your genitals in, as long as it's not.
I mean, I don't mind if you're like saying, "Hey, I'm bi." Yeah, I mean,
as long as you're not a pedophile.
You know, I mean, I guess
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is kind of important, just considering how ancient a lot of our politicians are. Because if the more politicians that kind of come out openly, you know, homosexual, openly bisexual, and eventually there's going to be those who are going to be openly agnostic and agnostic atheists and atheists, etc., etc. I mean, it's just only a matter of time, you know. It will help get like the ball rolling, so like you know, get more people to kind of come out and open up about a lot of their other shit. If only we can get a lesbian softball coach in New York to run for public office. If only, man. You know, I've always thought about him running, but you know, but if he does, though, who will be able to continue Secular Talk, though? I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I go to him every day. Like, I will, like, check YouTube just to see if he made videos. I mean, I like, that's how, I'm a hardcore fan, like, and if I happen to be up in the morning early enough, I will listen to him on Block Talk Radio, but on my phone, that sounds so bad, and lags so badly, but if it works fine, I will definitely do it. Mini jank from the Progressive Voice. Hey, yeah, you know, ain't too bad either. It's pretty cool how quickly he became popular. I mean, he's pretty awesome. Like, how he has this little setup, like, I mean, oops, whoa. But, yeah, but, I mean, like how he has his setup is really awesome, for sure. Like, what I want to eventually just do is get this desk right here instead of all this weird conglomerate bullshit that you'll see whenever I point to my TV for stuff. But I'm gonna bounce that really quick. I think they're, you know, I'm gonna see if I can find just like one little thing, just kind of play this out here. Bounce this on my leg while I'm going on YouTube.
Playing with the whammy bar.
Alright, I know there has to be something. You know what? I'm gonna go to the blood sports one where they with Drunken Peasants, and I'm gonna go to all the rap that Billy was doing, drunk as fuck.
Yeah.
Kind of partially play us out, cause I ain't gonna lie, that was some fire shit that was going on.
That was insane.
Yeah, it's
pretty much like it's. How can I?
He seems cool, but it sounds like he's on benzos, a little boring, like Brett Keane, low energy. Yeah, that's my only. Is it spin until you? Yep. I mean, yeah. I mean, his raps are great. Just on that alone. I mean, I'm not even the biggest fan of rap either, but if there's some out there that's good, I'll totally do it.
It was a session of avarice and debauchery of high proportions. It was just fucking awesome.
I want to have it just a little low. Like, I just want it in the background
when he's doing these raps too.
I just want it in the background. I don't need it like booming. There we go. That works. All right. Yeah, but Mini Jank needs. I don't even really know what his name is. I follow him on Twitter, and his name's on there. But Mini Jank, if he had like a little bit more of an uppity energy and more like seeming like he has more of a passion into it, he'd definitely be a lot. I think it would get a lot more support for sure. Yeah, I think his name is Salio.
I mean, he's
pretty cool name
for doing this drunk. I mean, he's better at rapping drunk than, you know, Drake at any point of his fucking career so far. Like, fuck Drake.
And he just takes a swig of rum to clear his throat.
Yeah. This guy's really ballsy.
I love, you know, when after the separation between Deep Fat Fry, between TJ, Paul Ziegel, and Scotty, and Bill, or Ben, I actually wasn't I didn't like get back into the Peasants for a bit there. I was mostly just on Deep Fat Fried, but after like a month, like I started warming up to Billy, and I was just like, you know what, this is fucking awesome. You know, flatulent Billy, Brett, or Pimp Monk. Oh damn. I feel like there's a tie between Billy and Pimp Monk, and damn. I think I would put.
Curious, why did the Drunken Peasants? I guess like why did TJ split from the Drunken Peasants?
You know, I don't know entirely why. I've wanted to. I think it was due to. I know there's some creative differences. There were some. I think it was because Ben technically owned half of the show, and TJ, Scotty, and Paul owned the other half. They make sly jokes every now and then on Deep Fat Fried about it. But I think it's all. I think they're they're not like.
I hope it's not like aggressive between each other.
Oh no, because Ben has told everybody to like check out Deep Fat Fried after our show and stuff like that. So I mean, the only thing I don't. The only thing I don't like about Billy is that he often interrupts the stupid kayfabe jokes whenever Ben talks with a guest. Yeah, Billy does interrupt every now and then, but I personally don't mind because a lot of what he has to say is pretty insightful. I mean, not all the time because I'll be like, I wish I could say something. Like, I wish I could just be on the show just to say a little something, add a little extra. But. I hope they get Kyle Kalinske back on the Drunken Peasants. Get him on here with with Billy and Ben. I'm sure he would offer a lot of insight into a lot of stuff that, would, probably surprise Billy.
Do you think it'd be cool if he did the, spint?
Well, Kyle doesn't smoke weed, so...
I know, but it's like maybe on the wheel they can put Kratom on there, so he gets lucky, and then he can take a bunch of Kratom. And
that
looks like when he's high on Kratom, man.
Get Pimp Monk in there too. Oh my god. I mean, Pimp Monk has been there at the show.
It's like him having an entire rap session. It's pretty cool.
They're not on bad terms, but Ben wants to appeal to a more mainstream crowd, whereas TJ wants to appeal to the more niche neckbeard atheist crowd. Yeah, I definitely, that's I think why a lot of the differences. Kratom plus alcohol equal vomiting.
Oh god, I bet.
Oh, I bet for sure. I mean, I don't normally see Pimp Monk drink at all because he takes Kratom every day. So
I mean, if there's a chance of getting nauseous from the Kratom, and then they take that with alcohol, a fucking toxin. Yeah, what are you doing to poor Chewie? I bet she hates that. Every cat that I've done that to just like gets pissed at me.
She just sits here and takes it.
Oh god.
Pimp Monk used to be a hardcore alcoholic. I think that's probably why he switched to Kratom. I think he mentioned that once before. He's still a hardcore cigarette smoker, but yeah, you need that's my only
your cat must
thing
be
about
the
him.
Epiphany of fucking Stockholm syndrome. At least for you.
For real, I mean, look at this.
Not me though. She's still afraid of me.
Like, can you just sit on the knee right?
She just clings. She's literally clingy. She literally clings to you.
Yeah, look at this. Let me do this. I'm gonna just put her. Galen banned me from Pit Monk's chat for for insulting Richard Colin. Yeah, like I remembered on one of TJ's streams, I mentioned the Holy Tomato from one of their Deep Fat Fried streams, and it's like, are you gonna praise the Holy Tomato? I think because I saw him in the corner on stream, so I mentioned it, and then I was put in timeout for I don't even know how long.
What the fuck?
From one of the moderators, yeah, and I'm just like, I have been silenced, and I kept saying that until I like was able to speak again. And then after that, I was like, bro, what the hell? I mean, it was ridiculous. It was whatever. I mean, it's just like I wasn't banned, but it was like, what the fuck? Like, I feel like some of the moderators in Pitmuck's stream knows TJ's stream from TJ Does Life, and I was yeah, and I remember
so it wasn't TJ himself; it was just a moderator in there.
Yeah, it was just one of the mods. Yeah, which was. It was like, and I just like showed up randomly, and then I just saw the tomato. It was the first thing I noticed, and I just mentioned that first. So, like, I probably mistaked me for a troll, but I was like, nah, I was just fucking around when I first showed up. But then after a while, I was just like, whatever. But his last stream though was real some bullshit when YouTube literally shut that shit down midstream. I was there. A lot of moderators, whether it be on YouTube or Discord, seem to get off on being assholes. That is true. Like, I wish I was a mod, because I would act like a nerd in high school with the hall monitor pass. Yeah, I mean, we didn't have any of that, really. We just had a pass from the classes. Like, we just pick up the pass from the class, and we just do whatever. But most people didn't even really do that much. It was just... One of the teachers had, like a 3-meter ruler, 3 meters, like big as a door, and that was his hall pass, and he would literally make his kids use that, make the students use that as a hall pass. It was like, bruh, are extreme much? Oh my god, Billy's so dumb. But used to go out in my car, smoke up because I parked behind the school. Yeah, great thing about my school was, like, we're in, like, our school's right in downtown of our little town, and there's parks all over the place. There's a little, you can go eat that isn't at the school. Kids were able to, like, smoke up whenever they want. Sometimes we'd smoke near the truck dock was. Yeah, like, oh my God, for us, we had there's the park, we have a park by, right next to a library that kids would go, that people would go to.
I was convinced that, like, Billy the Freak's just, like, fucking passed out.
No.
He does that a lot, though.
He does. Well, in this, he does, yeah. Gonna kill
him. He drank, God knows how much rum.
Yeah, I need to support DP on Patreon at some point, so I can see some of these shows that they do on Patreon. Patreon.
Tequila too.
And vodka. And whiskey. And wasabi.
He did vomit a lot though. Hence why he's shirtless. Because he vomited all over his shirt, and then he took his shirt off. Oh God, Chewy's just on your shoulder. It's like she's a terrified little parrot.
I bet whenever Billy farts, a bunch of semi-sword flummy shits come out. Oh God! Oh, God. Most likely, yeah. I wonder how people like Billy travel and do. Like, I wonder how it would be like to be kind of like the size of Billy. Like, how? Like,
I bet if he shat, it would probably make a better record than Drake ever could.
Damn.
I'm sorry, I have no respect for Drake. Drake, I don't think you'll ever see this, but you know what? If you do, fuck you, Drake. Just fuck you. Yeah, started from the bottom, now we're here. If you consider the bottom fucking suburban Canada.
Paul says he has permanent chronic peanut butter shits ever since he's got his gallbladder taken out.
Oh God.
Damn. Yeah, I hear a lot about people who take their gallbladders out. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, how, what? Why? I mean, why? I mean, it's like, I don't know what it does, but I guess it, as something to do with your digestive tract a little bit, since it sounds like it has chronic peanut butter shits as a symptom of being removed. But
was that chunky or creamy?
Oh, it's like having your appendix taken out.
Fuck.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard if like your like where your appendix is, if like if that hurts a lot and shit, like you should like it might be a risk of being affected and like you can die. But and I've like had that like once or twice like ever, but I was like totally fine. It was just like felt more like a cramp. But anyway, we've been going on for like 2 hours and 45 minutes. Holy shit.
Holy fuck, that's almost 3 hours.
Yeah, this is a long ass stream. At least the gallbladder deals with processing fat. Appendix literally does nothing. It's a vesical organ. Yeah, like all I heard is that it basically stores like stores up a lot of bacteria and other different things in the appendix. But yeah, that's an interesting little outro right there. 6 a.m. Damn. Yeah, I normally don't stay up later than 3, so I think I'll probably wrap this up here. Do we have any final words for our friend here, Carl Rove? And for any of our other people who visit this later, if they ever decide they just want to be here for the whole video.
I'm going to go in a clean tone.
Oh, he's got a musical ballad to play us out with. Fuck Dave Rubin. Perfect outfit. Oh, what the fuck? Narson E621. Yeah, I saw that earlier on that stream last night, I think.
There we go.
Yeah, I was gonna check him out on E621 because just fuck it.
Fuck Drake.
Just fuck Drake. Alrighty. Well, I'll most likely probably see you around on like Deep Fat Fried, Drunk Pez. We see each other a lot on different.
Oh yeah.
He's the goat. You know, I think I do recognize Nars a little bit. I might realize who he is once I see him, but yeah, we'll probably see each other again somewhere else on the realm of YouTube, but that's been us for here on the stream. I'm getting tired as fuck now.
Yeah.
Had so many different tangents and so many different stories and different lovely things.
Home too and sleep if I can.
Yeah.
I got band practice tomorrow.
And we're also going to see Judas Priest on Tuesday, so I'll have some footage. He draws the best boot holes. Oh my goodness. Nothing.
I remember I had this Catholic friend that you're surprised I can make friends with Catholics. But, he's moderate about it, but it's like he plays in a Rush cover band and he's pretty good. He plays guitar for it. But he has a lot of like butt fuck jokes.
Oh my god.
Which is weird because he's Catholic.
Yeah, that's the most
butt fucking.
I'm a butt fucking Catholic. I'm the bear.
Like I don't know if it's like that. I don't know if it's because he's repressed. I don't know if it's
maybe just being savage.
Trying to like find an outlet. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's funny though. It's like, like when the instructors aren't looking, and like I'm in his class, or it's like if we're in a class together, like we were before, we'll actually like lip sync like.
Oh my god.
Like while the teacher's there and the teacher doesn't know anything about what we're saying or what we're insinuating. And it's funny. That's the funniest part about it. The funniest part is they don't know. They're ignorant to all the other students know. But I always try to I'm trying to become more intricate with it. Because before they were just saying butt fuck and it's every now and then it just gets kind of desensitizing. It doesn't really have the same random. I don't know. This is quite immature, but I mean, it's
okay to be juvenile.
We're able to afford. We can afford to do it.
Right.
It's not like we're in a press conference and we just yell butt fuck.
Oh my god.
So dumb.
Yeah, that would be one way to get fired. Yeah. All right. Are we now given the finger of death? You shall be fingered. Oh yes. Oh shit.